Baptizing the chemicals, crawling through the catacombs of every sermon that you weaponize. Now every halo that you hold above my head is just a noose made of the words that you memorize. You say I'm broken, say I'm blind, but you can't prove a God with a state of mind. You want my worship, want me on my knees, but you can't sell faith with a casualty. If your God exists, then show me all your proof. Burn his name into the sky and show me it's the truth. I'm tired of second-hand miracle with zero evidence. If your God is
It's been good, Chaz. How you doing? What's up, guys?
decorate your trauma with God and call it meant to be, but trauma isn't holy.
What's up, Vegeta?
You tell me every tragedy is part of some celestial plan, so every
Custody, what's up? No, there's no copyright strike for the song. Big John Steele. I don't think he's a troll. I think he's made a career out of being wrong, and he can't change his mind anymore. See, the cool thing about my channel is I've built it so strong on if there's evidence or justification to change my mind, I will. So if someone ends up proving God or disproving evolution or whatever the hell it might be, I'm going to change my mind and the whole channel's coming with me. Big John Steele has devoted his entirety to just being biased. We'll turn the song down. Alright. Oh, we did have a caller, but he ran already. We'll wait a little bit longer then. Alright, there's the song. Alright, guys, we are in. Every God is imaginary. I have no justification to believe otherwise. In order to make me believe otherwise, you need to provide evidence justifying the belief in your God. I am an atheist, Gnostic and agnostic. Don't fucking know. Depends on the God claim. Abrahamic God is a fucking pathetic piece of shit that doesn't actually fucking exist. It's a horrible story made up thousands of years ago by horrible people. Same for all the Abrahamic religions. It's just fucking pathetic. If your God happens to just be a philosophy or you worship energy, congratulations, I couldn't give a shit less. That's not God. You're just redefining natural things as God. Music, what's up, man?
That literally is God, dude. Something you worship, an entity, just because
False.
it's an
The
idea.
definition of God is an all-powerful, triumphant creator of the universe. Next.
Okay, and you don't think people can have
Energy is
beliefs
not a
that
triomni, all-powerful being.
just because it isn't doesn't mean people can't believe that
I
it
mean,
is.
yeah, I can also believe my shoelace is God. Doesn't make it actually so. So again, your God is imaginary. Their gods are imaginary. There is no such thing as a God. Want to prove me wrong? Go for it. Want to whine more? Go for
I'm
it.
not okay. I'm not gonna prove you wrong, but at least
Okay, cool. Boo, what's up? How you doing, Boo?
Nigger, 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 nigger.
100% a Christian. I didn't say it, TikTok. I didn't say it. Don't freaking ban me for someone else's words. Again. We love the TikTok shop. We love the TikTok shop. The TikTok shop is amazing. Everyone go check out the TikTok shop. Hell yeah to the TikTok shop. Next guest that has a brain cell. Well, there's absolutely no, it'll warn before it suspends like that. The guy who's been ducking my debate challenges. Ems, come up here and I will lick your toes. That was a grown man. Well, I mean, I wouldn't consider him a man, but definitely above the age of 18. Logical problem of evil. Ooh, interesting. What is up?
What's going on?
Hey, man, you over the age of 18?
Yes, sir.
Cool. Which religion do you follow?
I follow no specific whatever you call it discipline of Christianity.
Ems. Love you, dude. Welcome in, bro. Everyone give some W's to Ems. I'm sorry, say that again, bro.
I'm Christianity, but not a specific discipline of it.
You believe in the Abrahamic God and that Jesus Christ is Lord, right?
Yes.
That's the definition of Christian. Cool. Why should I believe it?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ways you could go with this, but like first, like you don't believe there is a God. Like
Why should I?
Sorry, like you don't believe there is a cause.
Why should I?
There is a beginning.
Why should I?
Because the universe, it's the way I see it, right? It's gonna be. So, would you agree that everything that we see is contingent?
Nope. Well, yeah, all things are contingent on the universe's existence.
So, are you saying the universe is the only contingent thing then?
Nope. What I said was all things are contingent upon the universe.
Yeah, so that means the universe must be the only non-contingent thing?
Yeah, that means the universe is necessary. Name one thing that can exist without the universe.
Well, what do you mean by universe?
You don't know the definition? Here, I'll get it for you. Universe
Well,
definition.
I mean, I take it to be all there is.
Yep, all existing matter in space considered as a whole, the cosmos. The universe is believed that goes into the age. Your dishes or whatever are vibrating the phone.
Sorry, I'm in the dishroom right now.
Yeah, I can't hear you at all. It's just farting noises.
I think it's the dishwasher. I'm at the dish pit. I'm actually working right now. Can you hear me?
Nope.
Let me try.
Test.
Yeah, is it any better?
No.
Can you still hear me though, or is it?
It's no, the whole entire phone is shaking.
Yeah, my phone. The only way I can prop up my phone here is on top of the.
Well, I'm sorry, bro. We'll have to let you go and you come up another time, right?
All right, thank you for your time, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate
deuces,
it.
brother. Have a good day at work. Yeah, so all things are contingent upon the universe's existence. What is the universe? All things. There you go. All things are contingent upon the universe's existence. Where does the universe come from? Why should I believe it came from somewhere? What evidence justifies it never existed at some point? Or what evidence justifies that at one point it did not exist? Why should I believe that? That's redonkulous. There's absolutely no evidence that the universe was created. What's up, Jaden? Get you up here and we'll get on get biconditional bat next. What's up, brother?
What's good? You need to learn to answer me on Discord, motherfucker.
Did I not respond to anything? Did you text me?
Oh,
I've been
yeah, I
busy
did.
working.
That's no problem, dude. I should be going live at some point here today. I did finally get the prompt that I've been waiting on. It is fucking badass. I'm gonna send it to you. It's awesome. I had deconstruction, the GM make it for me.
Yeah.
Dude, it's badass.
Hell yeah, man. Well, let's get in a caller real quick. He's been...
All right. I might not respond if you need me because I do put on my headphones.
You're good, brother. What's up, Bat?
Yeah, so you don't believe in God?
That was the...
What's up, KG?
What's up, bro? How you doing?
Doing all right, brother. You over the age of 18?
Yeah. I've been on here before. We were cool. I'm the atheist member.
I get a lot of... Wait, you are an atheist?
Yeah, I don't believe in God. Fuck that.
Oh, were you here when Ems was up the other day?
I think, yeah, we were talking about
And with
Jesus
Russell?
not existing. Yeah, Jesus not existing or something. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm only doing theists today, but I appreciate
Alright,
you
I'll
hopping
sit
up
back
and saying
watch the
hi.
show. Keep up the good work.
Yeah, brother, appreciate you. All right, we're going to do what I don't do very often is open up the YouTube call-in. So those of you guys on YouTube, you will be able to call in here in just a second.
Why don't you ever do YouTube?
Because I get more trolls on YouTube than I do TikTok, believe it or not.
Ah, okay. No,
Yeah.
that actually makes sense.
And it's like way worse because they can just turn the camera on and stuff. So
Dude, I don't even want to know what's the worst thing you've ever seen.
some bad stuff. We've had some bad stuff here on TikTok too, but it gets taken down way quicker. All right, YouTube call-in is open. Click that link that is pinned in the chat. If you want to get in on YouTube and on TikTok, click those two people at the bottom of the screen and click request. Got 70 of you guys in here. Got 1,300 likes. Keep tapping the likes. That'll get us further on the For You page. Let's get some debaters in here.
Normally when I come on, there's a bunch of fucking people coming up here. Maybe it's my profile picture change. Maybe that's what did it.
Could be. What is up, Tolto? Oh. Tolto dipped.
Yup, real quick.
Yeah, people
wait,
have
going
mooned us
back.
too.
Damn, maybe I need to change my PFP back. What the fuck?
Oh, no, it's not you. I just haven't streamed in like 4 days. You got to keep up with
Yeah.
social media, otherwise it slows down. It'll probably take 5 minutes to get a caller, and then once we get a couple callers, it'll keep going.
How long you planning on streaming today? Is
Couple
it just
hours.
kind of okay.
And then we'll go live tomorrow morning as well.
It's either I'm gonna end up not going live today or I'm going live tomorrow. I know tomorrow I should be able to. I shouldn't have anything to do, but I have been busy somewhat today.
Yeah, you'll figure it out.
I just need to figure out how to set up a fucking prompt. I was in the live shit fucking around and I could not figure it out for the life of me. I'm just gonna go on YouTube and see if YouTube can help me.
Yeah, I just use OBS and have a text up on screen.
I have to use my phone.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I would do it on my Chromebook, but I use my Chromebook for my doc with all the verses and stuff that I need.
Mm-hmm.
I have this. The doc really just has a bunch of immoral verses, and I do have this one section where it's talking about hell with the eternal punishment and stuff like that. I do like to debate that sometimes. I don't get why people think within the Bible that it makes it clear that there is no eternal punishment, but
What is that? Don't. What's up, don't?
Hey, you can call me Dante.
Dante?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing okay.
Wonderful.
I'm obviously up here to say not imaginary.
Yeah. Which religion do you follow?
Christianity.
Okay, cool. What you got for us? Why should I believe your God actually exists?
I think I think the apostles have a pretty good. I think if you look at everything, I don't see how why would they would want to die and be persecuted for what they saw. If they would have to be in on it to be like, they would all have to like know that it was totally made up.
Why do you think they would have to be in on it? People die every day believing things are wrong. Muslims, they have martyrs as well. Hindus have had martyrs. Like, having a martyr doesn't make your belief correct. They believed it,
but no,
they died for it.
The specifically witnessing him rising from the dead.
No one saw him.
yeah, so with the apostles seeing him rise up, if you look at all the gospels, it's a complete contradiction. They contradict what time, who was actually there. It's a whole 9 yards, but they do all agree upon Jesus' resurrection, but the rest of the story is just a contradiction between all of them, and they can't really ever agree with Jesus. They don't even know what time, what the year was when he was born. Pretty sure, I can't remember the exact verses off the top of my head, but one of them says it was 4 BC and then like 6 CE, something like that.
You're saying, so I'm pretty sure the Gospels don't actually give a year.
It's chronological thanks
do?
to the begots.
Oh, so you're like, so it's someone much later inferring and then kind of like drawing their own conclusion, right?
Well, no.
No, it's
This
not.
2,000 years
in the
ago, was it
Gospels.
not?
It's not in the Gospels, but
Was it not
but you're saying
2,000
that
years ago?
Someone
He died at 33 CE.
Well, first of all, you said that one person says it's this year and another person says it's another year.
Yeah, it's a contradiction.
Do you know who those people are?
You don't.
Can you point to? So it's almost like, how can I argue against that if you don't know anything about like these?
You want to use
that you're trying to
as
give?
your greatest argument right now? Cool. Who wrote Mark?
Mark.
No. Who wrote Matthew?
Matthew.
No. Who wrote John?
John.
No. Who wrote Luke?
So if you it wasn't them, right? You know it wasn't any of these people.
Yeah, and according to your own logic, you shouldn't trust them,
right?
No.
So you know who wrote them then? So, since the people that said since it's it said that they were written by
nobody
these people,
knows who wrote them.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, it
So
was
you
the
just
early
know
church
it's not.
fathers. No, the early church fathers had given them all their names, and I did end up looking up the verse in Matthew 2. I don't really know which one it is, but I do remember them now. In Matthew 2, if I'm not mistaken, it says 6 BC, and then in Luke 22, 1 through 5 says 4 BC.
So they said it says BC, even though that wasn't even when this was written. They didn't even have BC and AD yet.
This would have been an estimate of his birth, based off.
So
of those
it
verses.
said no. Hold on. So the Gospel says it uses a time system that hasn't even been invented yet when it was written.
What?
Brother.
You're saying it says...
I just said it's an estimate. It's not exactly what the Gospels say, but that's the estimate that they get from those two verses.
No, so I was just laughing at what you specifically said, which is it says in this that it was like 4 AD or 4 BC or whatever you said it was. And I'm like, oh, that's really weird that the Gospel, if I looked up, what is it, like First Matthew, I see the word 4 BC, and then like I'm like, that's
and then I went on to
right?
clarify that this is an estimate. Did you not hear that part? I literally
whose
went
estimate
on to
was
say
who's
it was an
okay?
estimate.
But that isn't the Gospel's estimate, right? That isn't the Gospel's estimate, right? That's someone else. So whose estimate is that?
Scholars.
Scholar.
People who study this. Cody, do I sound stupid? I don't know what he's laughing
I don't
at.
know what you're talking about.
I'm like, okay, so who said that? And you're like,
my only thoughts.
scholars, and it's
So, like,
just like the most.
I
like,
genuinely
it couldn't
don't
have
really
been the
know where you're
most, like,
going, Jaden, but I do know that there was
falling on
still
your
a
face response.
calendar, so like we can still use the old calendar with the new calendar and get a good strong estimate of what date, which is what the scholars like Bart Ehrman did. But
I don't know.
I don't know what your
scholars
argument
by
is.
Name.
I mean,
Yeah,
I don't think the time has anything to do with it. Like, the Gospels are completely anonymous. Why should I believe anyone saw a man resurrected?
So, what do you think is the best explanation for this story perpetuating?
Yeah, what's the best explanation for the story of Harry Potter?
No, you already know that I'm a believer, and I believe it's because they witnessed a miracle.
Ooh.
But you don't believe in miracles at all.
Ooh.
So what
Who
do you
witnessed
think
it?
is like the? Did you say something?
Yeah,
Cody,
who witnessed?
Your mic is really quiet.
Is it really?
Yeah, you're really quiet.
Oh, that explains a lot. Okay, one sec. How's this? Test, test, test.
Much better.
Okay. Yeah, I was saying who witnessed it.
The apostles
Uh,
and Mary.
Who? Like, how do you know that?
I guess I'm just going off the Gospels, right?
Yeah, who wrote that?
The apostles.
According to who?
So you're just gonna keep going down the dominoes?
Yeah, why should I believe
well,
it? Like,
well, then what is this?
why-
What is this? What is this? What is this?
the Gospels are anonymous, brother. The names were attributed by Irenaeus in the 2nd century. They're completely
Mhm.
anonymous works of
Mhm.
art.
Yep, there you go. But they're not anonymous if they're attributed. If we already have
It is anonymous to
it's
this
church,
day.
it's church tradition.
Yeah, tradition doesn't make fact. So just because Irenaeus
Is that the
said
claim?
that
Is
Matthew
the claim
wrote
that
it,
tradition makes fact, or did you just try to straw man me right there?
no. Just because Irenaeus says that these people did it and his attribution was thanks to Polycarp, it doesn't mean it's true. Plus, that's hearsay. Polycarp never wrote about that, never talked about that. That's just completely fucking made up. We have no clue who wrote them. They're anonymous in accordance with all scholarly
Okay.
consensus.
So, what's the best explanation for how we get these stories?
It's mythology, like all of history. We thought lightning was
Did
Zeus.
Did you answer my question by just saying it's mythology?
Mm-hmm. Demonstrated to
So
be true.
my question, remember my original question is, what's the best explanation?
Yeah, it didn't
how we got
happen.
these stories?
It's
And
all
your
mythology.
explanation doesn't even make sense. Even if it is mythology, your explanation of what's the best explanation for these stories is mythology.
Yeah, it
Like,
didn't
that
happen.
doesn't
Why should I
even
believe it happened?
answer a thing.
Yeah, it does. Why should I believe it happened?
Well, we do. What? No, remember, we're. I don't know how. I'm trying to lead a horse to water here. Okay, so we have these stories, right? And is the Bible like it is? Did it just pop in like in this year, like when you were born or anything? No, we can go back. It's very old. So we're trying to understand why these stories would have even came into being to begin with. Do you think just a bunch of people
Do you
smoked
think
a lot of
just
drugs
because there's a story about Zeus, Zeus therefore exists?
So you don't want to answer my question. You just want to get
I'm doing what's
just
called
put
internal
more smart ass
critiques.
questions back at me. You don't want to start. You don't want
It's
to
a
answer my
story.
question because it's too hard to answer.
No, it's a story. Why should I believe it's true? It's just a story.
So why are we? What is the? So it's like I ask you one thing and then you're like, here, let's walk over here and talk about this other thing.
You having a hard time
Because
keeping
you're
up?
like, I know you want to talk. I know you. There's something you do want to talk about. You're just like, oh, I want to say this. I want to say this like one liner thing, and then completely ignore your question. Like, can we just answer my one question, which is, what is the best? What do you think? How do you think these stories actually popped out, or have you never critically
They're
thought about that
stories.
before? You know what? I'm not even arguing if they're. Think about what I'm literally saying to you right now. I'm not saying
They were stories
these are
spread
stories.
and
I'm
written
saying,
down.
How do you account for how these stories just pop? Do they just pop up? Are they
Throughout all of
abiogenesis?
history, yes, they pop up in every single society and culture in all of history. Yes.
The story
Hindus,
of Jesus pops up in every single society
dude,
and culture.
Jesus
No.
has so many attributes stolen from Dionysus and other gods.
Oh, that bull crap that you see in Kymatica? No. All that the stuff. Oh,
I can name one
Horus.
other god that.
Jesus is
yeah.
actually like Horus and,
Yes.
and Dionysus and,
Yeah.
and Mithra. Are you gonna say Mithra too? Like all this
Guess
other
who
bull
turned
crap?
water to wine first? Dionysus.
Yeah, you could.
Guess,
we could literally
guess what?
just,
Guess where
that's
Yahweh
all been
comes from?
debunked.
False. Guess where Yahweh comes from?
The storm god.
Yeah, that's another pantheon. He's not even
Yeah,
at the
you didn't
top.
think I knew that, huh? You're like, oh crap, he knows this stuff. He actually knew about the storm god. Okay.
No, I couldn't
Weird,
care
and I
less.
still
I'm just
believe in
saying
it.
that it's a
almost like
pantheon
you,
stolen
you
from
just know these
another.
little. It's like
He's
you
a
probably read
god
the
taken
Atheist
from
Annotated
another.
Bible or something.
He's a god taken from another pantheon. It doesn't mean he's real. Why should I believe it exists? It's just imagination in storybooks.
Is anything that you can't comprehend just like imagination and storybooks?
What evidence do you have for it being true?
It is the best explanation.
No, it's not. Best
for how the
explanation
god-
is it's a
I
made-up
didn't
story.
Even tell you. Hold on, I didn't even tell you what it was the best explanation for, and you're already working backwards in your brain to answer that. Like think about, just take it, like if you think
Go
you're
for
like a master debater, critical thinker, like you're not critically thinking. If I didn't even tell you what it was the best explanation for, and
Go
you're
for it.
already responding, no, it's not. Think about that for a second.
Why should I believe it?
That's a cringe soundboard.
I know you
but
are. Why should I believe
Is
it?
that the only? Is that what you had to resort to?
Why should I believe it?
Okay, since you don't want to talk about anything that I'm like responding,
Why should I believe in your
like
God?
I'm giving you specific things. We'll change gears. We'll talk about
Why should I believe in your
another
God?
part of God. So you should believe in a God, period, not just the Christian God, but just there should be. How do you think the universe came into being?
It didn't come into being.
It didn't come into being. Okay, so if you go backwards, if you take the dominoes all the way back to, do you believe in the Big Bang or do you not believe in that?
Mm-hmm. Do you know what the Big Bang Theory is?
Yeah, it's a rapid expansion. Do you think it was an actual explosion?
I
Or is
don't
that
care.
was that
Did
going
I
to be
ask
your mic
that?
drop? Was that going to be your mic drop?
You good, bro? So what was your point? Yes, I believe in the Big Bang Theory. Do you know what it is?
Okay, how did that time start? How do you get do you know the whole cause and effect, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the uncaused cause?
What? The universe. Energy isn't created.
How did you go from a singularity
Of energy.
to a rapid to a complete rapid expansion? How
Dark
did you
energy.
go from a 0 point? Dark energy? Did you say dark energy is how you go from how the Big Bang?
Or dark matter, yeah.
Dark.
Yeah.
Do you even know what dark matter is?
Yeah, it's what leads to the expansion of the universe. 75% of it is caused.
No.
Mhm.
No.
Yeah.
Dark matter is just it's basically like a question mark, a variable in the
It
equations.
is what
Oh,
expands
gosh,
the universe.
He doesn't understand. He needs to interject before I'm even done. The insecurity is showing.
Yes, dark energy is responsible for the accelerated expansion of the universe, acting as a force that pushes galaxies apart.
That's different
NASA.gov.
than what you said.
Dark energy.
That's very different from what you said. So dark energy. So which you got wrong. You were like, oh, it's dark energy. Oh, I mean, no, it's dark matter.
Yep.
But the dark energy is how we explain the universe accelerating, the expansion of the universe that we see with our telescopes, and how it's accelerating. The expansion is actually accelerating.
It's the expansion and the acceleration of the expansion.
That is okay, bro. That is not the Big Bang.
Yeah, it is the expansion of the universe. By literal definition.
You can't draw any distinction between.
What's the definition of the Big Bang Theory?
And the expansion of the universe.
That's literally what it is. The Big Bang Theory is that there was a hot dense state. The universe was in a hot dense state and started expanding.
A singularity, a 0 point.
Yep, started expanding. Energy existed.
How do you go from singularity?
I don't know.
All the matter, all the energy, everything in the universe.
What's a singularity made out of?
It has. There's all the energy and all the matter.
Can
in the
energy
universe.
be created?
We've never been able to create energy.
Good job. So why should I believe it was created?
So do you think the universe just infinitely regresses?
It could.
Like, what do you think could happen that would make a singularity?
Oh, I don't know everything about it. We don't have the answer to everything.
Can you even but you can understand even without knowing everything. If you think you need to know everything to know anything, then
Was the
you're
universe
wrong.
created?
But yes, the universe has to have been created. It has
Why?
to have been. Or else you're just going infinitely. So how do you go infinitely backwards and then at some point start the universe?
Infinite timelines still have finite points.
How do you go infinitely backwards?
I just answered that.
And then at any point reach the present?
Yeah, finite points in a timeline.
How do you get to present?
We can't. We are in the present.
Yeah, you would need something like a god to do that, right?
Nope. Provide evidence for that.
But you said you just said we can't though.
No, I'm saying we can't time travel. Like me right now, I can't physically go to the past nor the future, but we
I thought you were
exist.
saying something
No, I'm
substantive
saying
there.
we have our timeline, right? And we live here. This exists even though I can't go there. We can observe it. But you can have that for an infinite timeline. There's finite points. Why should I believe it was created? What evidence is there to justify that?
So if you can go backwards, infinitely,
I don't know.
in the singularity.
So why should I believe it was
so
created?
we don't have to go infinitely backwards to reach the singularity, right? We go infinitely backwards to like right before the Big Bang. How do you even like begin like so why wouldn't the Big Bang just happen earlier then?
No clue. Why should I believe it was created?
Because of cause and effect, the most basic
Energy.
bitch thing to even understand about how like anything works. Like you don't need to know physics.
So
or
what
anything.
evidence do you have that it was created?
To understand that every cause, like
You're saying
every
the
effect
universe
has
is a cause. Prove it.
I'm
Or an
the
effect.
universe
You're
is
saying
a
the
cause.
universe is an
Yeah, I'm
effect.
saying it's
So
an effect.
prove
I'm
that.
saying we're clearly this universe, everything
Prove it.
that causes have effects. Okay.
No, prove that the universe is an effect. You're saying the universe is contingent. Prove it.
Is that like just a like it's that's something you just put at the beginning of all your words? It's almost like you put a period at the end of all your sentences. Do you just put prove it instead and like that's your micro drop? Like
You're gonna dodge instead of answering it?
You're not you're not saying anything. So like imagine if I'm saying hey, do you like ice cream? And then you just say and then you say yeah, and I say prove it. And then you're like, well, I just ate some ice cream. And I say, oh, you did? Well, just prove it. Because that's how this conversation's going right now.
So what evidence do you have that the universe is contingent?
Every effect has a cause.
So prove the universe is an effect and contingent, as I already said.
Is the universe here right now?
Yeah, energy can't be created, therefore it's always existed. What evidence do you have that it's contingent? Hello?
I'm trying to think like how I can make an analogy or something to get through to your
No,
brain. But
it's an empirical
thing is-
claim. You need to prove it with
the
science.
thing is like I see how your reasoning is like you work backwards. So you don't start with like say facts or something like that. You don't go, oh okay, like I need to understand.
Is the first
like,
law of
here's the set
thermodynamics a
facts I have.
fact?
Here's the thing. I'm going to build off of this and try to make a conclusion. So you already
Is the
have your
first law of
conclusion.
thermodynamics a fact?
You already have your conclusion.
Is
and
the
then
first
you
law
work
of
backwards from
thermodynamics a
there.
fact?
So you're just trying to like think like how
Is
how
the
can
first
I make
law
my
of
conclusion make
thermodynamics a
sense?
fact?
Yeah.
Okay, energy cannot be created or destroyed. Prove it was created. So I'm not using
So how do
assumptions,
you
I'm
get-
using
how do you-
facts.
If energy can't be created or destroyed,
Pause. Slow down. Good boy. You just said I don't use facts. You agree with the fact that the first law of thermodynamics is a fact. So prove it's false. Best of luck.
was that supposed to be a cringe mic drop or something?
Yep.
You just said I didn't use facts, and then you agreed with me that the
I
first
just
law of
proved you a
thermodynamics is
liar.
fact. Like that was so bad. That was so cringe.
I know you are, but what am I? So can you prove that energy was created?
Okay, that's yeah. I'm rubber, you're glue. Real
Your mom.
clever.
Yeah. Can you prove that energy was created? Yes or no? It's a simple question.
It's weird. It's almost like how would you even get energy and matter, right? Yeah, so it can't be
It
created.
can't
right?
be
You have to-
created. It does exist,
So
therefore
the
it's always
universe-
existed.
I'll tell you what, the universe doesn't seem to be able to create matter energy, right?
It is.
Does the universe be able to create?
The universe is energy.
Hold on. How is energy? If the universe can't create
Matter is an
energy,
emergent property from energy, dumbass.
If another cringe mic drop, like I don't know that. This from the guy that
Cool.
thinks
So
that,
what evidence do you have
thinks
that energy can be
that
created?
thinks that the Big Bang is just
Dude, you like to talk way too much. I'm asking simple questions. You keep dodging, and it's
you're
at this.
literally
Shut up! I wasn't giving you permission to talk yet. It's getting pathetic. We're running in
Been doing that to
circles.
me.
Energy can't
Doing
be
that to me the
created.
whole-
You're saying it can. Just prove
That's
it.
all you're doing. It's cringe.
All right, I'm gonna move on to someone with brain cells.
Okay, good luck, buddy.
That was hard.
just to
Good
clear up
grief.
my claim from earlier, if you look at those two verses that I brought up, it places Jesus' birth in the time of Julius Caesar and then King of Horde, I think that's who pronounces his name.
Herod?
So yeah, Herod. But no, he just sat there and rambled, saying that I couldn't back that up.
Yeah, I didn't know what you guys were going on about, so I wasn't able to
because
attribute anything. He was also very good at gaslighting, so.
Oh no, his whole thing was, oh no, I can't prove it, but I'm gonna try and do this or say this or whatever the fuck. But
It
let
was
up the
just
next guess. I hope
pointless
this one.
tangents. Yeah, we'll get Phil in here in a second. Nowhart sent 5 memberships, though. Everyone W to Nowhart. Let's get Phil in here. What's up, Phil?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing all right, brother. You over the age of 18?
No, I'm just, I'm just a theist. Give you a little background.
Yeah, are you over the age of 18?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, which religion do you follow?
I'm not really a religious, but I do believe in God.
Just a generic God?
Yeah, just generic and
Cool.
general.
Why should I believe in a God?
I mean, how do you define God for you?
All-powerful creator and triomni, creator of the universe.
Damn.
That's the definition.
If I can give you a little bit of background.
I don't care. No. I just want evidence for God or not.
I think the first law of thermodynamics, as you've been stating, is probably the best evidence. I think, and especially, to go back to the point the previous caller was making earlier, I think he did make a good point when
he didn't make a single good point.
Thinking about I mean, that's your opinion, but
it's a fact. He literally just ran like a coward from every single question and then ad hominem to me instead of providing any justification for anything he said. It was pathetic. But I would love for you to provide evidence for God.
Sure. For me, I think it is the evolution of us being here in this moment.
Now, what about us existing is evidence of a God?
Yeah, think about it. If you think about how life replicates and life replicates and life replicates, which is, the first law of thermodynamics. But I think there's, no matter, what is it?
What?
Did you just say the first law of thermodynamics is replication?
Energy can be created or destroyed, but
correct.
It is transformed.
Correct.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
We are energy, right? Each one of us talking is energy.
Yeah, we're made up of energy, yeah. Are you trying to call energy God?
So, oh boy. I mean, yeah, in a sense I am. I think...
Like, I don't have anything against that, but it's still
simple.
I can call my shoelace a god. It doesn't make it God. Energy is not a god. It's not an intelligent creator.
No, but all things together are.
No.
I think when we look at my hypothesis is that our measurements for which we decide these things are inherently from our limited perspective. So if we call an inch, we call a mile, that is our unit of measurement for what God is.
And it's what?
Yes.
How is a mile
everything that
a description of God?
Educated. But it leads to it.
A mile is a measurement of distance. What does that have to do with a God? You're a little bit crazy.
Yeah, maybe I am. But hopefully for the people listening on this call, whoever gets it will get it.
Yeah, don't do drugs, kids. This is what happens. Can you provide evidence for God? Like, this is just the most abstract, stupid metaphysical concept that has nothing to do with anything.
We are units of energy.
Congratulations.
And our
Where's
energy
God?
has created the conscious. Our energy has created the consciousness in which we talk right now.
Yeah, our brain.
Do you believe in consciousness?
Yeah, it's an emergent property from the brain.
The Big Bang created the consciousness for us in the present moment now to speak. Don't you think that energy itself is conscious? No, it's not just biology.
It's 100% biology.
Is consciousness biology?
you do know that we're not the only species that has a conscious. You know that, right?
Absolutely. And that even furthers my point. That furthers my point. And that goes back to the point that our units of measurement are according to us, of our understanding, which our understanding is limited.
So what?
Is what I'm trying to tell you.
What does that have to do with God being real?
Wait, are you a Spinozist?
Pretty much.
I mean, there's nothing against that. Like, I mean,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
the most beautiful thing in all of the universe is the universe itself. It's fucking gorgeous. It's absolutely magnificent, and we will never understand all of it, but it's not a god. It's not a
fucking love
being.
that
It's not an
photo.
entity.
Mm.
Energy doesn't have an intelligent creation and idea. It's not thinking. It's not going around going, I want to make Cody today. No, it's just how it works. Our descriptions in words like physics are descriptions of the universe and how it's working. Gravity is the universe. We're just describing how it's working. There's nothing intelligent about it. It's just natural. It is the universe. It has to work this way. It's how it works.
True. Does that mean we're not intelligent either?
We are intelligent, but we actually have a brain. Energy does not have a brain. The brain is an emergent property of matter. Like, matter makes up things, right? Matter in and of itself is not intelligent, but it makes things that are intelligent. It is not intelligent, but makes things that are intelligent. Energy is not intelligent, but it does interact with things. And we can intelligently interact with it, but it is not intelligent. So same thing like a rat trap has a spring and has a piece of wood. On their own, it's just a spring and a piece of wood. It is not a rat trap. You put them together and then you have a rat trap. You have energy, you got matter, you got mass. That's energy, matter, and mass. You put them together and you can get consciousness. But it is not in and of itself consciousness, same as a spring is not in and of itself a rat trap. That's just ridiculous.
Right. That was my theory though, because I've had my few questionable experiences, and I am a crazy man, so what can I say? But I've had experiences where I don't know, it just all of it's interconnected. I don't think these things as separate mechanics or energy from actual consciousness as a separate mechanic. I would argue that it's actually the source of our intelligence. That
The brain
through
is the
natural
source of our
processes.
intelligence.
Yeah, sure. It is.
It's made up of matter, congrats. That doesn't mean that matter itself is intelligent. When you put matter together in certain ways, there can be intelligence that comes from it. Matter is not intelligent. Intelligence is a property that can emerge from matter being put together, same as a rat trap. A spring is not just a rat trap, remember? You put the spring with some other pieces, you put the matter with some other things, and you can get the rat trap. The rat trap is not the spring. The spring is not the rat trap. You put them together, you get a rat trap. The brain is where our consciousness comes from. If we just have a proton, that doesn't have fucking intelligence. It's energy. You put the energy in certain ways, you can get intelligence.
And do you think that's a random thing? I think for me, that's where I can't.
Chaos has order, brother. The universe is order. The universe only works orderly. There is no such thing as non-order. Chaos is order.
True.
There's no such thing as not order. It's how the universe works. The only reason we're able to debate it is anthropic principle. We're the observers. Without us observing, though, there would still be order.
Yeah, just for me, I don't see how these things are separate. But
I just explained it very clearly. Is a
I know,
spring
I
a rat
get
trap?
it. It's not a rat trap, but it doesn't.
Correct.
Have to be.
So energy is not intelligence, but energy, the spring with the wood and other parts makes the intelligence. Energy is not intelligent. That I just explained it again.
So non-life created life. Is what they.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
How else would it come? We have evidence of that. Miller-Urey was able to get inorganic matter into organic. And we know that organic can have all the enzymes naturally in space and on the Earth, because rocks came down, asteroids, with all the enzymes and everything from space, landed on the Earth. There is a beautiful pool of just fucking chemicals and reactions. And it all came naturally. All of it is 100% natural. All the building blocks to life exist right now.
Yeah, I think what's happening here is that you're looking at all this and you're not comprehending it. You're not able to understand it. Or when you brought up randomness, I don't think you like the fact that we don't have a direct purpose. There isn't really a meaning to all this. I don't think you like that. And that's why you want to say that there is some form of a being or the energy is some form of consciousness. Now, well, I'm not very great when it comes to the evidence for all this, which Cody is, but I can do this better at a theological way. And the problem is that for you to think that way, it's just you looking at something you don't understand and saying, Unicorn Man did this, so he exists. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for me, I think what it was is that God to me was more negligent. And I think that my understanding of everything was based on how it personally affects me. So that made me biased from jump. So
What do you mean by personally affects you?
well, that once upon a time I believed that. So it's like we're talking about purpose and you know this selfish idea of purpose and thinking that 8 billion other people don't have purpose. I
Yeah.
think
You make your own purpose. There is no innate purpose.
Yeah,
Right.
we don't have a direct purpose. Like there isn't no ultimate
Right.
meaning. Us as humans, we create our own meaning. Like for an example, somebody's meaning in life is to just get rich. Well, somebody's else's is just to live good. It's not to get rich. It's not to be famous. It's completely subjective. It's completely what you want in life. Now, if we did have a direct purpose, like the Christian God, for instance, it would be a pretty shitty life to only have a purpose to worship a god or think that there is a god or try and get comfort from a god. I just don't think you're thinking critically. You're thinking from your emotions and not your head.
Mm. Yeah, maybe. Well, I'm open to that notion.
Good thing to always be open-minded, brother.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you guys' time today.
Yeah, you have yourself a good day. Appreciate you hopping up, man.
Yeah, you too.
We got a super chat from Nowheart, SEK50. Okay, guys, you can have a beautiful secular spirituality about meditation and mindfulness without buying the Deepak Chopra Eckhart Tolle scam. I do agree. I mean, I practice witchcraft 100% from a naturalistic, atheistic perspective.
I swear, every live I fucking go to, Russell is here. Every time I'm here, he's here. Why? Why are you here?
It's really hard to kill cockroaches. Let's get Truly in here. What's up, Truly?
Hey, can you hear me, Paul?
Yeah. You over the age of 18, brother?
Yep.
Awesome. Which religion do you follow?
Yeah, I'm gonna be following Christianity.
Awesome. Well, you sound like a Phil, bro, so what's your syllogism?
I don't even need to run a syllogism. I'm not really a Phil, bro. I do like a little bit of philosophy, but I'll just run psychophysical harmony.
That's a Phil, though. Okay. Psychophysical harmony. Really? That's where you want to go?
Yeah.
Okay. How does that demonstrate a god?
Yeah, so it's just going to be more expected out of the theist hypothesis that we're going to have some sort of harmony between your psycho states and your physical states. You're going to have like striking facts like consciousness is just going to be more expected under theism. All of these things are really going to comport to the thesis that theism is going to be much more expected than atheism.
Okay, so what is your theistic explanation for consciousness then?
I'm not sure what you mean by my theistic explanation for consciousness.
You said under theism, it's more.
Oh yeah,
it's easier explained.
God would have created it.
What evidence do you have to justify that?
Yeah, it would just be that God would desire that. If God wants a relationship.
What evidence do you have to justify that it happened, though? You can make up a concept of if God desired, if God existed. No, I want the actual evidence that God has anything to do with consciousness, because it's answered in naturalism. So you're already wrong. I would love for your answer, your explanation. Pause. I would love for your explanation because you're the one with the burden of proof right now. You're saying that a magical unicorn created consciousness. You need to demonstrate that.
Right. So again, if this magical unicorn wants a connection with us, right?
I don't care.
He's going to create.
Demonstrate the unicorn exists.
You don't care.
Demonstrate that he exists and that he did it.
Right. So the unicorn existing is going to be demonstrated by things like consciousness is
You have to
expecting the theism rather than
demonstrate the
actual
causal
unicorn.
relation of the mechanism of consciousness being created by said
Listen,
unicorn,
I
though.
understand that you're confused by how our
I
beliefs work.
understand that you're confused by how logic and reality work, but I would love for you to demonstrate why I should believe that this unicorn made consciousness. You have to link a causal mechanism to the effect being consciousness.
It sounds like you're confused. You're trying
It
to
sounds like you're
beg
really
the
dumb. I would
answer,
love for
which is
you.
ironic.
No, you have a
So
begging the
what's funny
question.
here?
You're
So what's
begging the
funny here
question.
is I'm proposing that if things like consciousness, then it's more likely that God exists. You're
Cool.
asking me,
Demonstrate
why
God
does
making
God
it.
exist? Right. Again, I already did. If God wants a relationship with us, then he ought to make
That
us
doesn't mean
conscious.
it actually happened.
Again, the evidence that it
If
happened is that we are
Voldemort existed,
conscious.
he would want us to have
So the
consciousness.
evidence
Therefore,
for if he
consciousness is
wants
made
us to
by
be
Voldemort.
conscious, then okay, that's fine. I don't understand what you're talking about. Listen, you're very
It's
confused.
your
It's okay.
argument.
I would
I
be
just
upset. I would
changed
be
the
upset
word
if I was
God
as
to
confused as you.
Voldemort.
I know, it's fine. I'd be upset if I was as confused as you. Again, if
Brother.
God wants a relationship with us, then we would be conscious. We are conscious. Therefore, it's more likely under the hypothesis that God exists.
It's possible, but there's no demonstration of its truthfulness. Where's the epistemic justification?
I don't know what you mean by epistemic justification. I don't know what this would call for an epistemic justification, but we would just do
Because you're
like
making a truth claim.
Right. We could just use like foundationalism if you
Are
want
you
to.
making a truth claim? Yes or no?
Am I making a truth claim? No, I'm making an inductive argument. I don't know if you can track that.
An argument for a truth claim.
No, this
Your
is not
claim
a
is
propositional
that
claim.
God
Holy
made
shit.
consciousness, correct?
Oh my god, this is a bad look for you. So, do you know what an inductive argument
Is your claim that God made consciousness? Yes or no?
No, my claim is that it's more expected under the theist hypothesis.
Are
that
you claiming that it's
consciousness
true?
exists. Consciousness does exist, therefore it's more expected
Are
under
you
the
claiming that
theist
that's
hypothesis.
true?
No, it's not a propositional
Oh, so it's false.
claim.
I'm glad that it's false.
No, it's not
Have yourself a
propositional.
shit
Holy
day.
shit.
Phil bros. I'm always like, you sound like a Phil bro. Give me your argument. And then they are like, no, I'm not a Phil bro. Anyways, low tier. I want you to justify your proposition. Low tier, low tier. Oh, you look so slow. You look so slow. They're all the same
And
fucking
that's why
copy
whenever I go-
paste.
Yeah, no. So
Ugh.
yeah, it made no sense. The fact I wanted to ask him if that's the case that we have consciousness because of a god. Does that mean that this god also wants a relationship with other animals? Like he wants a relationship with a fucking jellyfish?
Yeah, no, truly, you're really shit at this. Go read about epistemology. He was literally begging the question. Yes.
Yeah, no doubt about it. He kept on making a claim, and then when you ask him for
It's not a
proof of
claim.
that
It's not a claim. Substantiate your justification for why it's a claim when I'm just doing inductive reasoning. You low tier. I'm so sorry that you're not keeping up with this. Low tier, rhetorical backshots. Shut up.
Yeah. I don't understand that language. Like, why can't you just say, yeah, you lost here? Why say low tier? Why?
Low tier, low tier, low tier, low tier.
I pray that the next I
Be
will
quiet.
literally
There you go. Good boy.
fucking hope that the next guest isn't a Phil bro. They aren't speaking from their hearts, and that they have a good argument. Everything will go good.
Ugh.
And you see, yeah. So with you, Cody, that's why I don't do your kind of props, and that's why I'm not going to. I'm gonna do God is evil because the Bible proves that itself, and the history of Yahweh proves that. So very easy.
Do you want to do
I
it?
can at least.
Let's do it.
Huh?
Let's
Why,
do
hell
it.
yeah.
Do you want to do? Do you only know the Abrahamic God of the Bible?
I know. I know the Greek gods and I know the Egyptian gods.
Should I do the Christian God is immoral or?
Yeah, we'll do the Christian god. That's more easy to demonstrate.
How do I?
Immoral. IMM, and then moral. Yeah, there you go.
There's not just one R. Is there really? Wow.
Yeah, there's only one R.
That felt wrong to type.
But yeah, no, that's my preferred argument because the book itself proves it. There's no way to get around it. But it is fun to sometimes hear the arguments for it. That's why I specifically choose that one. It does get a lot more people's attention.
So here's the problem with the argument the gentleman was bringing up. I could use inductive reasoning that every Thursday for the last year, my teacher gives us a pop quiz. So next Thursday, it's very plausible that we'll have a pop quiz. It's not a fact, but there's very high certainty for that to be true. So it's a probabilistic expectation based on evidence. He was trying to make an inductive argument without any evidence or justification for the evidence. Even inductive arguments require evidence to back them and substantiate it.
Anybody calling over on YouTube?
Come again?
Anybody calling over on YouTube?
Oh, haven't even been checking. Nope.
Oh, shit.
I need to get my third monitor set up. I just got to get a new cable for it.
Hell yeah.
Do ASMR? Hell no.
Ugh.
Yeah, inductive can be highly accurate when you have evidence to justify why you believe something is highly reasonable to expect. Deductive provides conclusions with justified evidence. Inductive still requires evidence to justify why it's most reasonable to believe. Like these people, these Philbros study. I am so ignorant on philosophy, but every 101 philosophy book you're going to read is going to talk about the different types of philosophies, and then you're going to have epistemology. When you have a concept, an abstract metaphysical concept, if you want to talk about it in an abstract metaphysical sense in its own little area, you can absolutely do that. What if God existed? Could he do this? Could he do that? That is absolutely valid metaphysics. But when you say something about reality, you're no longer in metaphysics. You got to demonstrate it to some degree, depending on the claim. If it's something to do with just logic, you can use the laws of logic as long as it's coherent and sound with reality. Then it is true if it's not contradicting, all the laws. But if it's something about physical action, like something being created or interacted with, then you're going to have evidence to justify it. And that's Epistemology 101.
A negative. If you don't think he knows what he's talking about, come up and prove him wrong. What the fuck? Polaroid cameras' precise laws of chemistry yield artful mystery and invites acceptance over control. What? Oh, you're going to have to accept him. I assume he's a private account, and that's why I can't see that.
Interesting. What's up, Negative?
So Jaden wanted to pipe up, right? Debate me right now, Jaden. Stop running.
Brother.
What's up, Cash?
Hey, I was just maybe hoping to clear some of the confusion from the last conversation you guys just had.
Sure.
Yeah, I think the guy he ran a psychophysical harmony, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the evidence that would be proposed for it would be the consciousness. He would need to propose more evidence. I think he was saying that the consciousness. I'm an atheist.
Well, that's what I was asking him to do. Like,
it doesn't psychophysical harmony doesn't work, but the response you provided that you have to provide evidence for it.
Yeah.
Well, the evidence for it was the consciousness. It's more expected under theism than naturalism, which is true. He was right.
I don't grant that at all.
Do you think naturalism offers a better explanation for consciousness than theism?
Yeah, the hard problem of consciousness is just a philosophical problem, not a scientific problem. We know where consciousness comes from thanks to neuroscience. It's an emergent property of the brain given in global workspace theory of the brain and consciousness. It's just an emergent property of the brain.
I guess what I mean is
so that's a naturalistic explanation.
No, that's a naturalistic explanation of like how it comes to be.
Yeah, we know what consciousness is and how it works, where it comes from. It's in the brain. Yeah.
But we don't know. Again, the problem that he was bringing up is that consciousness itself, like the fact that things can be conscious, is more expected under theism.
No, it's not. It's 100% expected in natural laws, in natural biology, in natural neurology. What do you mean? Why do I think that? It's explained in neurology. Global workspace
No,
theory.
maybe you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. So like it would be like saying the existence of the universe is explained by geology. Like geology would
It's
account
not.
for the makeup of the planet. But when I say I meant the Earth. It's like saying that the existence of the Earth is explained by geology. Geology is going to explain how the planet operates in the way it does, but it's not going to explain why the planet is here.
It's explained by gravity.
Right. Again,
Yeah.
gravity would account for the explanation of the
So
universe.
consciousness.
Like, the universe is here. The
So
misunderstanding is going to
Earth,
fall to
the formation of Earth can be explained through gravity. The formation of consciousness is explained in neurology. So yes, naturalism has an explanation, and there's no evidence justifying a God making consciousness.
So
There is evidence that consciousness is a natural, emergent property of the brain. So no,
maybe like
theism does not
maybe an
have a better
example-
explanation.
Maybe an example would be like really good. So if I were to be like, there's a bowl of yogurt on the table, and then you were like, a food scientist, you could explain to me all the properties of that yogurt bowl and explain everything about it. But I would still be
I could
asking you
explain it
how
through
that
chemistry.
yogurt bowl got there. You couldn't explain how the yogurt bowl got there. Though. You
Yeah,
could
I
only
could.
explain the things about it. So chemistry is not going to account for how the yogurt bowl arrived on
Yeah,
the table.
we can explain every single method behind that. Every method.
Okay, again,
the person grabbed it. The
it's
person
just an
made
analogy, so
the person made the milk. This person mixed the products. These products were used. The products were gathered from. We can explain every single step of the process. You don't have to invoke a magical unicorn for it.
So
naturalism explains all of it.
From the hypothetical.
I lost you.
Like,
say that all again.
Yeah, I apologize. There was a call there. I apologize for that. So the confusion is going to come from the hypothetical. So let's imagine.
We're not talking about a hypothetical.
What we were talking about the hypothetical of the yogurt bowl. We're not talking about we're
which
saying
again still naturally
naturalism-
explained.
Right. So you're going to naturally explain it through a process that's not the fact of the yogurt bowl. So I was
The
just
fact
comparing
is
it
the
to
yogurt
be a
bowl is
comparison
there.
to-
The fact of
so the
what
yogurt
makes up
bowl
the
is there
yogurt
to
bowl
be
is
the
explained
brain.
easy too.
So the yogurt bowl was going to be the fact of the brain exists. or
Yeah,
the
we know where the
consciousness
brain comes
exists,
from.
right? And then I was going to be like the food scientist is going to be equivalent to the neuroscientist who's going to be able to explain everything about the neurology of the brain. But it's not going to account for how consciousness itself comes into existence.
It does.
Which is what the type. So it's going to explain how consciousness works. It's not going to explain how consciousness comes into existence. If we know how consciousness comes into existence,
It does.
we would be much further along. So, I mean, do you want to look it up and screen share it?
You're talking about the hard problem of consciousness. That's
You think that
philosophy.
Neuroscience explains.
Yes,
right,
there
so you
is
agree with
no
me that
hard
neuroscience
problem
doesn't
of
explain.
there is no hard problem of consciousness in science. It's only a philosophical
That's
problem.
Fine. That's what I was saying.
Science
The problem is
has
your
an
about
explanation.
A naturalist explanation. Science has an explanation for how consciousness operates, not
Where
how
it
consciousness
comes from.
began to exist.
Where it
comes
began,
from is a
that's
brain
biology.
process. It's gonna all be talking about the existence of a brain. So
Yeah,
again,
because
it's not-
we
so,
know
right, so your
through
naturalistic
neurology that
explanation-
consciousness is
if your
thanks to the
naturalistic
brain.
explanation is neurology, and neurology doesn't account for the hard problem of consciousness, then your
There is no
naturalistic
hard
explanation
problem.
Doesn't account for the hard problem.
Do you
of
agree that the hard problem of consciousness is qualia?
The hard problem of consciousness is qualia. I call it qualia, but yeah, you can call it.
Yeah,
qualia, sure.
qualia is the correct pronunciation. I just don't always. Yeah, so qualia is explained too. Like, what is the qualia of color? Okay, we can explain, for instance, my favorite is pink. When we look at pink or surround people with pink, the chemical reactions due to the observation of that color and the hex and the refraction in your light cornea is going to send signals to your brain to release and hold off on testosterone and the other one, estrogen, and it's going to literally physically make you experience weakness. That is explained in neuroscience. There is no such thing as a hard problem of consciousness when it comes to science. It's a philosophical concept where people are trying to make problems. It's not a problem at all in science.
Wait, your response to Mary's room is what?
Well, I'd have to go in depth on that one. But yeah, I would say the refraction of the lights, which is going to be why we see color the way it is, it's going to send signals to the brain that this color is this. And then let's look up pink and why it releases. While
you're doing that, Cash, I would like, because you did suggest Googling this, so I decided, how does neurology explain where consciousness comes from?
That's going to be phrased wrong. So you're going to need to say, how does neurology account for the existence of consciousness implicator? Because otherwise it's going to be like it's. I agree that consciousness is going to be an emergent property from a complex brain, accounting for like the context you exist within. What I'm disagreeing with you on is that it's going to be its existence is going to be accounted for, right? Like so like I were to talk about why the Earth exists. Well, we can talk about gravity and planet formation and like stars crashing together, but it wouldn't account for where these things came from necessarily
The
in the
brain.
beginning, which is uh, right. I'm talking about
Yeah,
science, but
just with
it's just going to be it was just analogy.
yeah, so even with what I googled, it literally says neurology explains when a consciousness as an emergent phenom resulting from massive integrated activity with brain networks,
Right.
primarily
So
involving the
again,
cerebral cortex, and I have no clue how to pronounce that word, but I
You're
will
good.
put it in chat.
it might be thalamus, hypothalamus,
Mm-hmm.
cerebellum, thalamus. Yeah. So this is not really
I'm
what we're
so
talking about here.
confused, dude.
It's two separate conversations that we're having. I'm trying to
Yeah,
think of
you're bringing up a philosophical concept, trying to
right, which is what the
make a
psychophysical
problem,
harmony argument is. Well,
but
no,
the
the
answer is
problem
in
that was being brought
science.
up by that guy. Well, no, the psychophysical harmony is definitely not answered by science. I don't even think you guys got to the substance of it. Because you guys ended instantly when he said something about I don't know, consciousness is more expected under theism than
Well,
naturalism,
that's
which
what
would be
he said.
true.
And
I would affirm that proposition as an atheist. I would affirm that.
I don't care. You're wrong, and I
I'm
explained why you're
being
wrong.
very right, but your explanation as to why I'm wrong, in a
Is
respectful way, seems
literally
very
the causal
confusing,
mechanism
misinformed.
to the effect. I literally provided a causal mechanism for the effect, that of being experience, the cause for the experience, and why we feel what we feel. It's answered in science. Do you want me to go back and explain it again?
So
Qualia? I
again,
can explain it again.
right. So again, the problem is right.
There's no problem.
If we're going to talk about the emergent, well, if we're going to be talking about the emergent quality of the thing, you'd have to account for Mary's room. Otherwise, we're just going to be talking about a thing
Yeah,
that already
refraction
exists.
of
We're having a
light,
different
the brain
conversation.
processing it and sending information to the brain
Are
and
you
body,
familiar with
which is
Mary's
going to
room?
release chemicals. Yeah, you're in a room, you see red. The feeling of red. What is the feeling of red? Why do I feel this?
No. Okay. Have you read What Mary Didn't Know? All right, it's really quick.
It's
It's really
been
short.
like a year. Let me
Yeah,
reread
so
it.
it's just gonna be I got it. I'll sum it up for you
Okay.
really quickly. It's like a 4-page paper, but it's really I'll sum it up really quickly. Color scientist, she's in a room. She learns everything there is to know about the physical properties of the color red, but she's never seen it. She learns it through like black and white pages on a book, black and white TV. Everything she sees is black and white. Um, then she finally is released into the world. When she sees the color red for the first time after learning every physical fact about it, does she learn something new?
Yeah, the hex. The light refraction.
Yes, so she does learn something new.
Yeah. The
Then you're not a
seeing.
physicalist.
The seeing of it.
Then you're not a physicalist.
Yes, it's explained in naturalism and science and
You're not a
biology.
physicalist. You're a dualist. You'd have to
Nope.
explain where you just
It's explained by
I'm
the physical brain,
confused.
and the
Do you know
cause
what
is in the
physicalism
brain.
is?
It's all 100% physical explanations.
Right. So again, if you think that she learned something new,
Yeah, because she had a new
like Mary's room is
observation.
proposed as a defeat. Right. If she learns something new when she sees the color red for the first time, then you're not a physicalist.
I disagree. She has a new observation.
No, what you're saying, the defeater to physicalism is Mary's room. Well, it was proposed as the defeater. I don't think it works for
I
different reasons. But if you say
don't
that,
grant what
if
you're
you say
saying.
that, what you're saying is just that, like again, the problem of Mary's room is that she does learn something new. Therefore, physicalism isn't real. If you say she does learn
That's
something new,
wrong.
then
I
that's
have to ask you something,
wrong.
Cash.
Yep, it's wrong.
Yeah, so look, imagine, right? You all your life you lived a black and white life. Everything to you, all you saw was black and white, right? So and eventually you learned how those colors made you feel, how black made you feel, how white made you feel. But then eventually you're able to see these colors. How does that end up being a problem? Because you're making a new observation. You're seeing something when you haven't seen it before.
I have my own responses to Mary's room, that you don't learn anything new. I don't think you learn something new. I think you become
We
acquainted with
can argue
phenomena.
that. I definitely
But
think
if you
you'd
think
learn
that
something new.
then you're not a physicalist. But you can't
It is
possibly say that you
physical.
learn something new. No, because then it means that you're physical. Like again, she learns every physical property of the color red, and then
She
when she
doesn't.
sees it
I don't
again, when
grant
she
that
sees
either.
the color red, okay. So I mean, I hate to say this, but you clearly haven't read her arguments whatsoever, or her arguments. You
Sure.
haven't read Frank
I
Jackson's
don't
argument
grant that she
whatsoever.
learned absolutely everything
So
about
you're
it.
talking very confidently about a thing that you haven't read.
Sure.
In a respectful way, you're extremely confused, and I recommend
Cool.
reading about this stuff
I will.
before you talk confidently about it. I'll let you
So
go.
is
But maybe
visual
if it's a short
observation
paper,
not learning something new about something? Because I can
I don't
touch
think
something with
so.
my
I don't
fingers.
think the qualia. I don't
Yeah,
think
you're
qualia
wrong.
learns something new about it. Okay. I would recommend you
Okay,
read the
let me
paper.
give
It's like
you a
12
little.
You're learning
pages.
something new, which is what it looks like. That's what you're learning.
No, you're a
Yeah,
little bit confused.
you're
But
learning
again,
what it looks like.
again, I
Oh,
recommend you
okay.
read the
Let me
paper.
give you.
I highly
Let me
recommend
give
you
you an.
turn your brain on and learn someday.
Yeah, let me give
And
you an
if you
argument
don't,
here. Okay.
no, fuck respect.
Evidence.
If you don't think that
Oh,
visual
okay.
observation is something new, then you're dumb.
I think that you can become acquainted with a qualia. I don't
Is
think that
visual
you learn something new
observation
about a physical
something
property. I
new?
don't think you learn something. Again, I'm a physicalist.
Shut the fuck up, bitch. Stop talking fast, Phil, bro. Shut up. Slow down. I can touch something, and I can learn something new by visually seeing that same thing. Correct or false?
Sorry, I didn't know you muted me. I responded. Repeat that last part.
I can touch something all over, learn everything about it, and still learn something new by visually looking at it.
I don't think you learn anything new when you
You
see
would,
something,
yes, you
no.
would. You want to know what you would learn new? What red looks like.
Yeah, I don't think you're learning something new.
Cool.
It
I'm
sounds like
sorry you're stupid. Go open a book. Libraries are free. Best of luck.
So, wait. Like, is this a serious argument that people
Yes.
actually use?
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it because, like, perfect example. When your computer's off, you can feel it. You can learn everything about the computer, how it works, all 9 yards. But the moment you turn it on, whole new fucking world, new shit you're seeing. It's something you're learning.
I know it's not a good look on you, Cash. Go learn. Go learn. Go read books. They're at libraries for free. Best of luck. Stop being dumb.
Did a motherfucker just say color is subjective?
I don't know if I agree with that or not. I think yes, because I'm colorblind.
Well, yeah, in a sense, but in a general sense of people who aren't, I couldn't agree with that. If like when it comes to color blindness, yeah, I could definitely agree with that.
Well, that would
How
mean
you,
it's
yeah,
mind
how you
dependent.
perceive it, huh?
How you perceive color is subjective. Well, wouldn't... Okay, so I know that colors, specific colors, are specific light refractions in the processing of our brain, in the visual of seeing those refractions. Our brain is saying, this is the color it is. Based on this data, this is what it looks like.
Yeah, and that's why we see the sun as
I guess that would be
yellow
objective,
or
wouldn't it?
orange.
But our perception... Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I can grant
Yeah.
that.
It was a thought process that we had to think about it. It's not a slow thing. I mean, if you never had to think about something, I think that's pretty nuts to call somebody slow for. But besides the point, I mean, that's really all you got to think about. I don't even think you need to go into that whole explanation of how it really works. I think you could literally just say, the reason we, like, did you know the sun, the reason we see it as orange is because of this and this when it's actually white?
Yeah, we can measure color.
Seriously?
Yeah, hex codes.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot all about those. How the fuck?
Yeah, it's just refractions of prism. Yeah, I could get those corrective glasses for colorblindness. I just don't think it would make that much of a difference. I've got the most basic colorblindness there is.
What kind of colorblindness? Because I did
Just
have
the
a
red green.
friend.
I'm a dog.
Does that shit suck, or is it just
How could it
something
suck?
you get used to after a while?
How would I get used to it? It's all I've ever known.
No. Like with people going, no, that's not that color. Nope, no, it's not. No,
I've
it's not.
kind of like memorized that certain shades are certain colors. It's like I can't actually see the color, but I know what color it is.
Okay, I see. Man, I really want a motherfucker to argue against this.
Yeah, me too. I was hoping the last Phil bro would, but He's just a Phil bro.
Well, he's a pretty popular atheist. I've been on his lives a few times. That's the first time I've ever really interacted with him before. Never really went on his live. I've seen Sticks on there. I don't know if you know who he is, but
There's a whole, yeah, I don't. The Phil bros are in their own little world of
Sticks
tears.
isn't a Phil
and-
bro. Sticks is actually Sticks. I would kind of correlate with you. He's very good at the evidence for the science, and he's good at the theological too, which where I'm stronger at. I'm not really good with all the science jamber, and I don't really like to get into it either because I simply
Sure.
don't know it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no point in
And
talking about
just
something we're ignorant on. Yeah.
well, not only that, it's just the fact of a lot of the times you get into arguments like that, it's simply a person not understanding how something works and then making their own definition. Basically, just the God of the gaps fallacy. That's all it really is.
100% of all arguments for God are God of the gaps and begging the question and fuck. Special pleading.
Yeah, the whole reason I like to go to immorality about gods, and like in a general sense, there's never been a singular god that anybody could name where they were actually depicted as something good. There's not one. I'm not gonna say that I know every single god, and like the Greek gods or like these Egyptian gods because they have thousands of them. But the big ones, they're all cruel, immoral monsters.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Zeus literally kidnapped
Kronos.
a boy that he thought was perfect looking, and he would grape him every single time he would see him, or he would just sit there and stare at him. He had taken capture of this boy and made him is an immortal so that he could do this forever and ever.
Michael,
Like
you
I've
believe
never,
in subjective morality too. I don't think you know what subjective means.
I do love explaining that though, because a lot of people do get shocked or they just become ignorant of it. I do like the ones who actually are able to understand it.
Michael, you talk a lot of shit in chat. You want to request up? At least let me dunk on you on actual voice.
I'm excited for this one.
He ain't gonna request.
He said yes soon, so we shall see.
I like that response. That was a good response, Michael.
Yes, it was.
That was a good response. I like the sassiness. When they're sassy back, I love that.
That's how you know it's gonna be a good conversation. That's just how you know.
Like, okay, so like there's like I like the banter. Like when Phil bros usually come up and then they're like, you're just a slow boy. I'm like, yep. All right, next. Yep, I'm slow. Yep, I'm ignorant. Yep, I'm dumb. I'm dumb. Yep, can you fucking provide the evidence?
That's what Adam. Yeah, literally, what you should do is like basically grant them everything, and then just tell them, okay, prove how this correlates to your God. They can't do shit then.
Yep. Yeah, they're never able to provide a mechanism. That's why it's so easy.
Not at all. Well, when it comes to me and Phil bros, I just completely ignore them. I just don't like to interact. I don't want to hear all the philosophy and all the jamber shit.
I ignore the troll ones, but I've had some really good conversations with like a couple of them. Like I had one dude that would troll me for a couple of months, and then we ended up having a really good like hour-long conversation. It's like some of them are really good.
I mean, I can't say that all of them are like that. I have talking to a few good ones, but I had to tell them straight up, I'm not gonna listen to you if you're just gonna sit there and use a bunch of philosophy banter.
Yeah.
That's yeah. I'm fine with them as long as they don't go with. I mean, obviously I like philosophy, no hate towards it, but when you try and explain that and just keep on using terms, and half the time you're getting those terms wrong, it's not a good conversation.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, can you substantiate the proposition behind the flux capacitor not being abbreviated under the smallest entailment of the tail track? Huh? Motherfucker,
Like,
what?
the fuck does that mean?
Oh, you didn't catch up? Slow boy, you're such a low tier. This is kind of sad and pathetic that you're doing this. You're not able to keep up. Anyways, can you substantiate the proposition that you... Like, dude, you're really smart? Then dumb it down.
Yeah, that's a great fucking way to put it. Why did I never thought of that? Why the fuck haven't I thought of that?
Occam's razor.
Yeah, the most of the time I do argue for the Christian God being immoral, I always bring up 1 Samuel 15. Perfect verse for it. Or you could even look at Deuteronomy. Where is it? Deuteronomy 20:16 through 17. That's an even better one. But the only thing is that this one doesn't specify what actually has happened to them, unlike 1 Samuel 15. This one is just a command from God where he basically says to not let anything that breathes stay alive in the towns, and then it goes on a list of shit ton of towns, the Henties and the Armories and all those fucking people. It just doesn't specify exactly what does happen to them. In 1 Samuel 15, it does specify what happens. Literally, if you continue to read on, it literally said, well, it doesn't say directly, but it does say that the only thing that they left alive was the king and the finest of sheep and ox to be sacrifices towards God, and besides that, they utterly destroyed the rest. Some people have tried to make the argument that it's a hyperbole, but if it's a hyperbole, that would mean that God had the intention to not lie to them, lie in the scripture. But the biggest problem is that they go on to confirm this is what happened. If it was a hyperbole, it would have been stated as if there was a lot of stuff left, but it said utterly destroyed them.
Amalekites.
Yep. I don't know
Second
what the
Kings.
fuck.
That's my favorite.
Where the bear one, the she bears.
Elisha. Yeah.
I don't know. To me, when it comes to that one, there's a little bit of wiggle room because I mean,
I do
make
agree
the
with
argument.
that.
Yeah, you could make the argument that this isn't distinctively saying that this was from God. This was because you could make the argument that the prophet actually had the power to do so as long as it was within God's will. But it's just a bunch of begging the question.
Well, then it's God's will to slaughter a bunch of kids.
Yeah. It's a terrible argument, but that's the best one I've ever heard for
Remember,
it.
also,
I mean, there's probably...
nothing happens that does not happen according to my will.
Yeah. I think my favorite one is it's definitely 1 Samuel 15 for the whole argument, but this one to me is just like literally there's no way to get around this. If you look at Exodus 4:11, if you want to pull that up real quick, it's basically God saying that I am the reason people are disabled.
Who gave human beings their mouths? Who makes them deaf or mute? Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh, what? That's awesome. Who gave human beings their mouths? Who makes them deaf or mute? Who gives them sight or makes them blind? Is it not I, the Lord? So he makes everyone blind and deaf. That is deaf and blind. Wow.
Yeah, I like to say that it is literally a general statement that he does create all the disabilities, all the people who are just fine. And why would a moral God who loves everybody want to give people disabilities?
Unjustified harm.
Yeah, oh wait, somebody is requesting up. Let's see who this is. Oh, Minister is actually requesting up.
Oh, awesome. I'll let you.
Connection failed. Oh, wait, there we go.
All right, y'all. It's basketball time. Y'all good?
Yeah, you're over the age of 18?
Yes, sir.
All right, which religion? I'm going to guess Christian.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what'd you got?
Well, I mean, we can work with this.
You want to do this
problem?
prompt?
Disabilities.
Cool, yeah. I'm going to let Jaden take this one over, and I'll just shut up in the corner.
I got you. So do you have anything to say against it?
Yeah, I mean, do you like take this stance like genuinely, or this is just like you're poking fun kind of, you know?
No, I genuinely take this stance. This is literally God saying that he is the reason for all disabilities. Why would an all-loving or an all-moral God want to create humans or anything with a disability that can affect their lives greatly in terrible ways? I will admit that it can possibly affect them in good ways, but more so it's going to affect them in terrible ways.
No, I mean, if it's true, it's a good question. I mean, just to help me understand, do you believe in free will, or are you one of those that don't believe in free will?
No, free will is not possible. It's not at all, especially with the idea of the Christian God, because if a God is all knowing and nothing can go outside of his plan, the only way for free will to exist is if that God is able to not be all knowing and that you can do something that he does not expect. That's the only way free will could be possible. And even with freedom of choice, that same idea still follows, that these aren't real things as long as that God is all knowing. Unless you want to get rid of that, then sure, we have free will. But if you want to keep that idea, then no, we don't.
Okay, I mean, I don't agree with that premise, but let's wrestle with it. So, do you believe that your choices are like a virtual symmetry breaker, but you're still kind of stuck doing whatever you were already going to do anyways?
Yeah, that's basically it. I don't understand what you mean by symmetry, but yeah, with a God, any God being all knowing, that would entail that they know what you're going to do, when you're going to do it, and how you're going to do it. And if you're able, and if you have free will, that would mean you would be able to do something that they would not expect. And if you're
Right.
able to do that, they're not all knowing anymore because they
Yeah, I mean,
don't
I
know
don't agree with
something
that
that you're
premise.
going to do.
Yeah, I hear you. I
Why
don't
don't
agree
you
with that
agree with
premise,
that?
but well, I mean, it's just because what you're describing to me sounds like a moist robot. It sounds like you are someone that has all these soft biological functions and complex chemical processes, but they don't really mean anything, and the science doesn't mean anything, choice doesn't mean anything. It's just all God made you do it. You have
What?
no free will.
Yeah, you want to have any free will with the idea of an all-knowing God. Tell me how you would.
Well, say you are on a train and I'm on a mountain. I have a higher view than you are. I know the beginning of the end of your tracks. I know the beginning and end of your destination and where you're coming from, and I see that you're headed over a cliff into the abyss. Now you're on the train, you don't see it. You're partying, drinking, taking Jaeger bombs, and you're thinking life is great, right? But I see that you're headed off to a ditch of abyss, and I don't think there's a way back. And so I'm telling you, hey, stop doing these things. And I see what is going to happen if you do these things, if you stay on the train. And you're like, no, you're just trying to
Add
control
into
me.
this, you also know exactly what it would take to the T to convince us to listen.
That's a nuance point.
No, it's not.
No.
But yeah,
The problem with what you're bringing up, you're making the assumption that God is going to interact with this being in some way, shape, or form, and that's only on the possibility. If that, I mean, of course it's a possibility, but if you can't prove that possibility, then your analogy just makes no sense.
Okay, well, good.
And it's
We're
still,
making
and it's
progress
still
then.
going, and it's still going along that, and the point of him being all knowing, he knows what you're gonna do, he knows what will happen. The only, like, in this
And God
sense,
created
he's
the
still
cliff.
on.
Yep. It's God's
Look, I
fault.
know you
Still,
since you were born.
So he
all right? I
made the
know you
train,
very
he
well.
made the cliff. He also knows what it would take to get your attention, and he still just lets you go to it. What a douche.
Not
I
only
mean,
that,
even
he is doing everything
No, he's
to get your
maniacal as
attention without
fuck. He's not doing everything. He's all knowing. He knows what it would take. He's all knowing and all powerful. He can do whatever the fuck he wants in any way in accordance and break all the laws of physics, and yet he lets you fucking crash and burn. He's a bitch. He's a douchebag, maniacal
like
bitch.
like I brought up, all you're doing is running off of a possibility of what this God could do, and from what I'm
I
thinking,
agree, it is
that
a
would also,
possibility.
but even still, that God being all knowing would mean that they would know their own actions and that they would know what they would do. So if that was the case, then that would mean that they're not all knowing, because if they can do something outside of what they know, then they don't know everything.
Well, again, you're kind of
That's a
talking
good
in
paradox I
circles.
never heard.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's an
I never
interesting
heard that
circle
one.
that you talked in. But here's why it breaks down, right? So again, let's stick to the same analogy. It's easier for both of us to understand. I known you since you were a baby boy. What's your name, bro?
Jaden.
Jaden, yeah, I saw you born. All right, I know your ins and your outs. I know your personalities.
I don't consent.
I know how you think, right? And so I do know how to reach you. But here's the thing: I cannot compromise my character in trying to reach you. So there's some parameters that I've already placed in how I can reach out to you. But in those parameters, I'm gonna do everything possible to get you to get off that train.
Remember me?
Yeah, we're all good. I'm gonna let him continue talking, but you guys are up here as well, and if you guys have anything to add in or attack.
Yeah, but like I had said earlier, you're still running off of a possibility that this God would be willing to do this. Like, yes, the God may do this, but it's still just a possibility. You would have to find a way to prove that possibility of him doing this or taking action in this moment. It's not really directly responding to what I'm saying. It's more so you're saying, well, there's a possibility of this God interacting with him. But then again, that still goes against.
I've got a question, guys. So when you are not
First,
living
are you
anymore,
both are you both over the age of 18 or 18?
No, I'm Christian, bro. I'm Christian.
Are you
I'm
18,
just
brother?
I wanna talk to this guy.
Brother, are you 18?
No, I'm old enough, brother.
Okay, I want to respond to what you were saying. And so,
I didn't get to
yes.
finish.
Well, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Possibilities don't even work with an all-knowing God because there wouldn't be any form of a possibility outside of their knowledge. And if that was the case, they're still not all-knowing.
No, again, so...
May I add to that, please?
Well, let me respond, brother, and I can pass it to you, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Yeah. And so, if there exists in any world the possibility that God is standing on that avalanche, that mountain, he sees your choices, and he's doing everything within his parameters of his character to reach out to you, to convince you to get off that train because he knows where that train is going to go, you deciding that you're going to stay on that train is not him making you stay on that train. Now, if in the possible world he could compromise himself to get you off that train, like say for instance, like Islam, they're promised 72 virgins in heaven, right? And so
yeah, I'm sorry, I gotta
cut
cut you off. You're still running. You're not responding to what I said. An all-knowing God, with an all-knowing God, possibilities couldn't exist. You can't say anything because they already know what's going to happen. They know what they're going to do. It makes no sense for there to be any form of a possibility with an all-knowing God unless that God is not all-knowing and they can do something that you or I or he himself wouldn't expect himself doing.
Well,
It's still just a possibility that isn't possible.
May I
possibilities is degrees of freedom, but I said I would pass it, so I'll pass it.
Yeah, I want to add this point of it. What's up, Evidence, again, by the way? We had a good combo last time.
What's up, brother?
I want to add this point to it. So I get where I feel like, I don't want to say confusion, but I see what you're saying, Jaden, about like the free will aspect, but I like to take it to more of a scientific realm to kind of explain it in a different way. So,
well, this is more so of a theological conversation, but yeah, you can go ahead.
Yeah. But theology, philosophy. I mean, you can.
Yeah,
you can
I'm just going to tell you now. I may not understand all the scientific terms, but I will try and understand them. And if Cody, you could clear that up somewhat for me, that'd be awesome.
For sure. But I'll impose this, right? So, if you were to travel back in time to unalive your 10-year-old self, what do you think would happen? That's a genuine question. What do you think would happen?
You wouldn't exist anymore. You killed what you were before, so then you wouldn't be there anymore. Because if that past existence didn't exist again, then you would have never existed in the future. You would be basically killing yourself.
So, the way that it would actually work.
Hey, I'm so sorry. Can I cut you off real quick? Is there any chance you're able to get away from the TV? Or put on headphones or something?
Yeah. I got you.
I appreciate you.
Here, let me turn it down a little bit. Let me turn it down. Is that better? Is that better?
A little bit more.
Do you have kids, bro? Are you having some kids?
No,
that right there should be fine.
Games on, but what I'm saying is, so what actually happens is, your past now becomes your current present, right? So when you travel in the past to do that, because even though you're traveling in the past, your past has now just become your current present because you are now presently in the past. Do you see what I'm saying? And your recent present is now your most recent past. Are you tracking that?
Yeah. I was a little bit
confused. Time is still moving, right? even though, and that's why I love the infinity symbol in these conversations, because what I like to argue is, what if this all-knowing creator, a lot of people like to say, well, it's already written, so how is there no free will? And I pondered on this question a lot too, because I had the same questions as you. But what if it's not already written? What if it's already happened? And because this creator lives outside of this infinity time loop, he's not necessarily writing your life moving forward. He's already seen what your life came to.
Can I
and so
provide a
he's
possible
just not
defeater?
interfering. Yeah.
Go ahead.
What I'm thinking right off the top of my head, just straight off first thought, is that timeline, that point in the past, is still current for said observers. Even you, from a future point on the timeline, being in that past point, it's the past for you, sure, but you are currently still going through time, and that time hasn't actually happened if you are in the time. You know what's going to happen, but you can still interfere.
Wait.
It's not set in stone. You're
Elaborate a
now
little bit
in
more.
that.
I'm trying.
You're in the past's present, so you're
Yeah,
still
okay,
experiencing
so
it.
yeah, so that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So a lot of people like to make the argument with the free will with a creator, right? Where if he knows everything, because I don't believe that infinite being can infinitely know things. I think that two things can be true at once, because when you can't measure infinity until it stops, right? So you know that saying where like as the
Wait,
circle
are
of light
you? What is your definition of all-knowing?
It depends. It depends on how it's measured for me, because it's kind of hard. Because think about it this way: you know that saying where they say the circle of light, and the light represents knowledge, right? Let's say the light represents knowledge. As you increase your knowledge, which is this circle of light around you in a room full of darkness, all that you realize is that the more you know, the more that you learn, the more you realize you know nothing at all. And I think when we're
But
talking
this God, by my definition of all-knowing, which means he can see past, future, and present, and he already knows all these things, then what you're speaking of isn't a possibility. This is saying that this is basically taking the term all-knowing and turning it into your own meaning of it, when that isn't what it means. That's the whole big problem.
okay,
You know,
let
I
me
can
ask this
actually
question.
reconcile, brother. I can actually reconcile what you haven't.
Can
what
I
you have
ask him one
described.
question real quick?
Go ahead.
Let me ask you this question then. So how do we measure all knowing in an infinite universe? How do we measure that? Where does it
we don't know
stop?
if our universe is infinite, but
Yeah, I know we don't know, but right now that's the leading theory, right? So I'm going based off of the leading theory that the universe is infinite. So how do we know that we know everything, any being? How do we know that we've reached the point of knowing absolutely everything when it still continues?
Are you arguing against God right now?
it seems like
No. It's no. I promise you.
Well,
I'm
God
not.
is defined as all-knowing, so he knows all the unknowns as well, just by definition.
But see,
In his
we talked about
definition,
this.
I feel like
we
I have
talked
to
about
defend
this
God
before.
now, bro.
Hey, I got you.
By his
But look.
But by
So-
his definition, he's basically saying if the universe is infinite and this being is infinite, then that would mean that all knowingness there wouldn't be really a way to measure it in a sense. He's basically taking the definition of all knowing and throwing his own version of it.
Yeah. You're redefining God.
I wouldn't say that I don't even know how to define it, right? Because I can't even comprehend an infinite mind, right? Or an infinite pool of knowledge. But it's not that I'm arguing against God. My version of a creator, first off, I'm not in the whole Bible and Quran and all that stuff. I don't
Just a
care about that.
generic idea of a God.
that makes sense.
Can I give you a stronger philosophical argument versus all? Then the current philosophical argument for God is no longer all-knowing and all-powerful. It's maximally great. And I think that would align with what you're trying to think of right now.
That explain that a little bit better for me. Like maximally great. Like, are you saying that as time goes, it's multiplying in
So
greatness? Like,
he
what is
can only do what is maximally possible for him to do, which is why, like, the paradox of if he's all powerful, he can create a rock so powerful he can't, or a rock so heavy he can't lift it, therefore he's not all powerful. It gets rid of that paradox to say he can only do what is in the bounds of reasonability.
Okay.
I like
Okay.
that too.
Yeah. I mean,
That's cool.
yeah, that moves that's more so thank you for that, because that's more so helping my point. And that I just got in here because I heard you talking about the free will, and I've been thinking through it too, man. Trust me. Like, because
I don't
I
know if
was
I
on the
believe in
same
free will or
thing. Like,
not.
Well, if you can let me, Jerry, if you let me get back in the
yeah,
cockpit
go
for a
ahead,
second.
please,
Yeah.
please.
I think you landed some interesting points. I want to make one more science point, and I don't want to lose anyone. But if you ever studied electrons, electron clouds are really interesting. Electron clouds are considered to be at every point until you measure it. It's a really interesting thing. And so
Not necessarily.
it
It's
is.
that's not what it's meaning by it's everywhere at the same time. What it's meaning is the like observer effect, for instance, right? When it came to the double slit experiment, we're not saying that they magically appear where we observe them. We're now saying it's like Schrodinger's box. We cannot know if it is in this point or this point, but there is a probability of where it could be in accordance with the way that it moves. So
But the probability is maximal until you measure it. So the probability
it's
is
not
maximal in all
maximal.
directions.
No, there's still a defined. We can still have probabilistic outcome for where to land.
You don't actually, not for electrons.
Well, that's where wave theory came from too. We
Well-
learned that it moves in a different way, and we can observe a predicted probability of where it's going to be.
No, you can as a wave, yes, but as a particle, no, right? And so there's waves have a discrete excitation amount that they're consistent. The waves are consistent across the entire wave. But when you look at the particle of an electron in a cloud, it's maximally possible that could be at any point in that cloud.
Well, in that zone, yes, it's still predictable because it's not existing. That's not what it's
Well,
saying.
it's not, but that's the thing. It doesn't just because you cannot necessarily say at any point in time where it is until you collapse.
Yeah, that we cannot do, correct. Yeah, but it's not saying that it's everywhere at the same time. It's more of a Schrodinger's box thing of it could be in this area, anywhere inside of this area, and we will not know until it is.
Until you measure it.
Yeah, but it's still a
Okay, I
probability.
see,
We
yeah.
know where it's going to land in an area. Like, it does still exist. It's not saying that
As
it
a
doesn't
wave,
exist
yes.
until we observe it. It's, again, just going back to Schrodinger's box. The cat is in the box. We just don't know if it's alive or dead until we
Well,
observe
you
it.
said something. You said something interesting. So, I mean, I want to know from your side, like, why
Ju-
would
just
you?
just real quick, however you say his name, he's spamming in the chat wanting to come up. Do I
It's
let
the-
him come up or?
All right, you're going to come up. You're going to state your age. Age.
43.
Lies. Don't ever come back up again. You're getting muted too. All right,
Host,
continue.
I want to
Sorry.
ask you a question because you kind of said something that made me think about, like, how you think about things. Why did you equate being everywhere at once as not existing? Like, why did you put those two together?
I figured that that's where you were trying to get with it. But being everywhere
Oh,
at
no,
once
no, I
doesn't
don't
mean it's
believe that.
everywhere at the exact same time either. It's literally just saying that we don't know which section it's going to be at. So it is everywhere in this section. So in this area, it could land in any of these spots. So with that in mind, it is in all of these spots until we actually observe where it lands. But it's not physically in every single spot. It's just our probability. It's probably in
We're on the
this
same
spot.
page. Good.
Okay,
We're on the
okay.
same page. And so that is, I'm going to build on that. Imagine that God is looking at you, and you have these degrees of freedom to do anything until a stimulus is placed upon you, or God directly looks at you and measures you. You can be at a particular point in time a maximal possibility of degrees of freedom of choice until you're measured.
So he's
until
not
a
all-knowing.
stimulus hits you. Well, no, it's then you have to build on what Jerry said. If God is truly outside of time, which is the Christian perspective, even when that stimulus comes to you to cause you to act, God already knows what you're going to do.
So he is all knowing, therefore can fix it.
But you still have
But see,
choice.
but
You still have maximal
okay,
choice.
can I add on that? Because what Cody just said, that was a part that was messing with me too, Cody, is he is all knowing and he can fix it. Even if you add in the paradox, whether he's all knowing or not all knowing at the same time, he can fix it.
Are we still on the train analogy?
No.
I guess so.
I mean, you can use it, but I'm taking it somewhere different. So if we're talking about an infinite being, right, a creator that's infinite, then that means you can't just be one part of you is infinite. If even 1% of you is infinite, all of you is, right? So that means that the creator's word is just as infinitely powerful as his
That
being.
still entails that he knows
Amen.
the probabilistic conclusion.
Yes, but hear me out.
And can
I want
still
you to rebuttal on this, Cody. I really do. I want to see where you take it. So if his word is as infinitely powerful as his being, then when he imposes a rule on his creation, he has to then subject himself to that rule if he's going to interact within the creation. Because in the Abrahamic God, he is not a liar because everything he says comes true.
So he still lets people and causes them to fail. Because he knows what it would take and doesn't do it on purpose. Therefore, he is purposefully letting people fail.
But the Christian concept is that he does it maximally to his constraints.
Therefore, he is still allowing it, and it's still him purposefully doing it.
Cody, so but this is what I'm saying. If let's say he does exist outside of his creation, outside of his time, or like you and I exist outside of a computer game that we create or something, right? He can put the rules in place for this game to operate. Let's say that's the laws of physics. That's everything, right? He can put the rules in place, but even though he's the creator, in order for him to play the game, his own game fairly, he now has to subject his avatar to the rules of the game that he created.
No, he doesn't. Because even when I play a game, I can edit the code and do exactly what's needed.
But hold on. Let me say this. That's me and you. We're talking about an infinite being whose word is as infinite.
Right, so he's more powerful at editing than I am. So he's even more capable of doing what needs to be done and still refuses to do it.
He doesn't necessarily refuse to.
Yeah, he is.
You're right.
If he's taking away his own power, even though he has the power to do what's good, and he still refuses, he is purposefully not doing it.
Well, you're making an absolute claim that miracles don't happen.
They don't.
Yes, there is a natural order, but you're making the claim that miracles
absolutely
don't happen.
Never have I ever had one. I mean, that's a whole different argument.
So I think that's where we've come to actually.
Yeah, but I feel like that's segueing. Like,
yeah,
not to interrupt you, but I'm trying to really get one-on-one, not one-on-one, but really this understanding with Cody here. So,
I mean, I could provide a defeater for this entire thing right now. How can an atemporal being have causal relation with anything in time? That breaks the laws of causality.
Say it again.
Yeah, how can an atemporal, outside of time, being have any causal relation at all? Because cause and effect require time. You cannot even breathe, think, or do if there's no points in time to have said thought. Because even having a thought is a cause and effect point in time, future, past, present.
But the Christian God does enter into time.
That's not possible if you're outside of time.
No, he is. He's outside of time, but he can't enter into time.
That's not possible.
It is possible.
Would that tie into
how?
Laws of...
I'll share how it's possible. It's through his word. His word enters into time.
What? No, you can't even talk or think if there's no time to think.
Well, no, so you're
See, this is called special pleading. It's a fallacy. You're saying all things adhere to these physical laws, all things adhere to logic except for my thing, and you can't describe a mechanism in which he has causal relation without time.
Well, you're making one conflation, respectfully. Logic doesn't require time. Logic is actually a timeless thing, like math. Math is a timeless thing. It can exist in totality outside of time and still be true.
You can't do
right?
2 plus 2 without points in time to put 2 there and then put a plus and then put a 2. Everything is requiring of it.
No, you can have, as an example, you can have material space without time.
No, you can't.
by using metaphysical.
Metaphysical concepts are not reality. They're abstract ideas that could possibly be, maybe possibly, if they're in accordance with reality. Reality does not allow that. So you'd have to describe the mechanism in which it does.
Can I ask Cody?
You're conflating reality with fiction. That's the problem.
I'm making a claim that there's a metaphysical reality.
Right, you would have to demonstrate that. Metaphysics are abstract concepts that may or may not have anything to do with reality. A metaphysical unicorn may possibly be able to have this power or that power. It doesn't make the unicorn exist.
No, I agree, but I can make a claim that there's a metaphysical reality, and how I would support it is information, right? The law of information, particularly. If you study like Shannon's law of information,
it still requires time. Information travels. Traveling is literally time. That's E equals MC squared, brother. That's literally general relativity.
Can something travel
without time? No.
Nothing can travel without time.
No, that's fucking general relativity, dude.
Well, can information
no.
be learned
no.
outside of time?
No.
Have you heard of quantum entanglement?
It's still not even proven or demonstrated. It's plausible with physics, and it's plausible with logic, but it's not demonstrated.
It has been demonstrated. Quantum entanglement has been
And quantum entanglement still has time, dude. That's why it's plausible, because it adheres to the laws of logic and physics.
It doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Can I ask
because it doesn't adhere to space and space-time.
No, it adheres to space-time still. No, that's why it's mathematically plausible and logically plausible. It's not true because it's not demonstrated.
Singularities.
I don't even grant it.
Of math. Listen. Similarities can be a part of math, but then when you work out a singularity, it ends up with an infinite or divided over 0. And so you're going to get a similar experience when dealing with the space issue of quantum entanglement. That's why Einstein called it a spooky effect at a distance, because it broke natural
there's
laws.
Perception. Your perception changes, yes. But any movement, any information, any causal relation at all is a byproduct of having time. You have to have time for that. So how do you have A to B without A to B? That's what you're saying.
I'll tell you. Like, have you heard of like the Pauli exclusion principle? Like, this is where this idea that you're right, that you got to have a distinction, a symmetry breaker between A and B in order to have information. You're right about that.
Yes.
But what you're conflating is that it's necessary for that space for A and B to be distinguishable to also have time.
Brother, even if you did it instantaneously, that is still time. That is a point to point of time.
No, I'm talking about existing and always existing, distinguishable.
Fucking what?
So wait, Cody, can I ask you, so are you saying like, okay, so what you just said, that's making me think, so even if you did it instantaneously, it's still a point of time, right?
It's still
so
A to
like,
B.
Would that go into like wormhole theory? Would I be on the right track? Like, even though
possibly, I mean, that would still like
even though
the cause going through
space though. That's a collapse.
Yeah,
sure,
but
our physics break down and we don't know
what,
things.
This is what I think Cody is trying to is saying, Minister, and I want to get back to after I say this to my version of how the Creator could do it without time. But I think what Cody's trying to say is, like, so for instance, even though you're saying like a wormhole is a point where space stretches or expands to create a shorter distance between 2 points.
Yeah, it warps time, but the time still exists.
Even though that you are getting to this point quicker or even instantaneously, you're still moving from one point in time to another.
Yes.
Because the people
but that's outside of what I was talking, because I was talking about information and logic. So he was
but
information and logic doesn't require. Listen, information and logic only requires quantum state differences. You just need to have a difference
difference
to distinguish.
is time.
No, it's not necessarily time. It could be, as an example, it could be rotatability. Like something can
Time.
rotate.
To
No,
rotate is 2 points. That requires time. This is E equals MC squared, literally. Have you
So
ever read
space.
General Relativity by
I
Einstein?
have. That's what I'm breaking
So
down.
you
for
should
I have.
know his velocity, time, and mass and relative distance.
Yes, but there's also relativity in time for a reason, because it can be
Yes, it is
contracted and it can be
relative, but it still
expanded.
exists, and
But
there's still
it's because
points.
there is a distinguishment. You can distinguish space from time, even though in our reality, space and time are inextricably linked. They're tied together. They're still two different components of reality. Space and time are distinguishable. You can have space plausibility without time, and you can have time without space. It's just only in our reality that space and time happen at the same time
The
and space.
only way that I can and do grant that is that the hot dense state, but it still had time. Planck is not negating time. There's still time. You have to have time for anything to happen. There's no way around that.
But you know, there's three
Can
different
I
types
add
of time,
this?
right? There's
Can I
proper
add this
time.
in?
Go ahead.
So, what if we're talking about a creator that was, right? We're talking about an infinite being. What if the creator was time, right?
You could say that.
Yeah, and so therefore he had time within himself.
Therefore, you
And
worship
so
the
he
universe.
was able to well, I read something called the Law of One. It's my favorite
Sure,
version
source.
of the create. Yeah, I
Yeah, I
that's
grant
what
that.
I'm
I
been
grant
on
Spinoza's
lately.
God. Because the universe is
Yeah.
the closest thing we will ever have to a
Yeah,
God.
I grant it partially, but I think you would be remiss to try to surmise God into the universe alone, because the universe itself also has a cause,
No, it doesn't.
and the Big Bang would say it has an
No, it
expansion, at
doesn't.
least. Right?
Yeah,
We can agree
expansion
on this
from
much,
the
right?
universe existing in a hot dense state. It was in a hot dense state, and then, because time requires 2 points of time, it was here, and then it expanded. But it
But what
already
caused it to
existed.
expand? What caused it
Dark
to expand?
energy.
So what is dark energy?
Another form of energy, because energy, first law of thermodynamics, cannot be
Neither
created.
created or no destroyed. Yeah,
Right,
I
so
agree.
it wasn't
And so,
created.
well, I love dark energy. I think dark energy is the hand of God. But that
It's an
aside,
emergent property from transference of energy.
but what is energy then? And what caused the universe to expand?
There's
from
different.
a
The first
singularity?
energies are going to be radiation. That's one of the first energies that we've ever been able to discover. It was the first. It was in the hot dense state.
But there was a point in the hot dense state before the quantum fields were excitable.
Says
right?
who?
In that
And
case,
see, this is where the Law of One comes into play for me. Sorry to cut in, but
You're good.
That's literally stating, like when I read it, I've read it a few times, but it's stating that we are all God experiencing ourselves an infinite amount of times, and that it's just
yeah,
and it's to return back to source. And this is why I
yeah,
had
that's
a problem.
like
And
the
I've been on.
Jainism, Hinduism. They believe that too.
Jainism is a little bit different. I'm not fully that
Granting
gone
that
with
we are energy and literally stardust, I can grant that we'll go back to the source being the universe, but me and you are not connected. Like a rat trap, the spring connected to that piece of wood is a rat trap, but those things put separately are not one.
Which part are you? You the spring?
No clue, right? But
Okay.
that's like the universe exists, and through the universe's existence we get matter. Through matter doing what matter does, other things are made. So when we go quote unquote die, we will become energy. Our brains are going to turn into heat and just go back into the ground. So
Now,
yes,
evidence,
we will.
Here's what you're
Okay,
missing.
so Cody, can I ask you this? You say that we are not, you and I are not the same, maybe in our physical format of energy,
Yes.
but at the base of it all, we are the same.
Yeah,
energy.
we will
You
probably
got Stardust
like right
from
now.
Mars,
No.
and I got it too.
Yeah, I could
Like,
grant that.
We're Mars cousins.
But there's
We're
no
Mars
like
cousins. I may
connection.
be black, and you.
So like if I take a phone, right, and take two motherboards that were cut from the same motherboard, Those are two distinct things made from the same thing, but they're distinct. So me and you are not actually connected. We are distinct individuals, but we're made out of the same products.
What if someone, Cody, if you don't mind, I know you didn't tell me your name, but I heard it from other people, so hope you don't mind.
Fragments of a greater whole. That's a good way to put that.
What if someone was to say to you, Cody, here's what's going to happen to you in 7 days? They don't know you, but somehow they've connected themselves to your timeline, and then it comes true. How would you respond to that?
I would critique it.
It's happened to me. It's happened to me, but I just want to know,
So,
like,
okay,
how
let
would
me
you respond?
let me put into perspective. So I'm completely atheist, okay, but I practice witchcraft due to the psychology of it. Okay, I explain this all the time on my channel. Witchcraft in and of itself is lots and lots of psychology. Okay, I can give someone a curse bag or a blessing bag, or speak a fucking curse or a blessing, and it will affect them because of the brain, and the brain is fucking powerful. It's not us magically doing anything. It's going to be placebo effects. It's going to be priming. It's going to be psychological.
Do they need to hear your curse for it to work?
No, you could do nonverbal communication, so facial
Do they need to
features.
see you? So they have to
There
see
has
you
to
or
be
hear you?
some sort of, there has to be
So you're
something.
like a physicalist.
Yeah, there has to be an interaction of some degree. But with that being said, we can cold read people like a motherfucker. The brain is so fucking powerful with pattern recognition. We can read people like books. So you can tell someone this is going to happen based on an experience with that person. But that's not magic. It's just psychology.
Let me give you my real scenario then, and then I want to hear your perspective. So I'm standing in front of a couple people, and the person stops and she says to me, "You're going to get an office space within 7 days." Completely out the blue, right? Very strange. But I was looking for weeks for office space, right? And so I'm going about my days. By the time I get to day 6, I completely forgot that she had said this. I'm at an event on the complete opposite, in a different state, around people that she's never met before, she doesn't know. And one of them comes up to me, puts his hand on my shoulder. This is a real story. And he says, "Michael, I would like to give you an office space." And I got 18 months of free office space. How would you explain that?
There's so
what
many questions there. A, how do you know that she didn't see you on your phone? How do you know she didn't overhear a conversation? How do you know that you are not having false memory and that you didn't bring it up, or that you guys didn't talk about office spaces, that you didn't receive an email and she saw your phone, that she wasn't talking to any of your friends? There's so many unknowns with that. And then also, how do you know she didn't say that to every single person she met that day? And you're the one person it worked on. That's confirmation bias.
Well, it could be, but I can answer all those questions, right? So, number one, this was a person I saw every Sunday because they.
So you've mentioned it before. 100% you have mentioned it before.
Never mentioned it before.
I don't trust your memory.
I never. That's okay, but I'm just saying I personally have never mentioned it before. But even if I had mentioned, let's grant that I mentioned it, how would she then know that someone was going to give it to me within that amount of time?
You bringing it up, you're both Christians, you go to church. You know how often I would manifest things when I was at church? I'd talk to people, they'd be like, "Man, yeah, I've been interested in business before." Guess what? A couple days later, I'm walking up to them, "You're going to have a new business within a month." Holy shit, 2 days later, they have a business. Guess what? They're already talking about it, they're already thinking about it. I said within a month. It's not manifesting magically. It is psychology.
Self-manifestation is something that can be explained
through psychology.
by psychology, but not.
It's not magic.
Not someone else doing it for you.
I just provided multiple. I just provided multiple explanations for that.
Say your mom is going to buy you a car.
Yeah, you can.
Tomorrow.
You can do that with 1,000 people and get one correct. Congratulations. It's coincidence.
Okay, so that's good. So you're right. So let's address that.
I've done that to people.
I listened to her, all of her words every Sunday, and she never once said that to anyone else. In fact, she
How do you know that?
Because she
Are you a mind reader, and are you with her 24/7 and you guys never go to the bathroom without each other? So no, you don't.
Public setting.
Yeah, so you don't know what she does or has done.
No, I do know what she does.
Brother, you are so cognitive dissonance right now.
No, I'm just giving you the parameters.
This is confirmation.
It's not, brother. I know what confirmation bias is. Right? I studied. So I just want to know. So if I literally, and I mean this, I'm giving you a genuine story. I actually was hired to do their media and recording. So
Okay.
I literally went through all of her public speaking
Public. Congrats.
for months, for 6 months almost. So I know all the words that she said over those 6 months in every public setting that was recorded.
And she
I
knows
was
your
there.
desires.
But I didn't tell her those
I
things.
don't believe you. I have no reason to not believe you.
Then that's what we come down to. The issue is belief, and I agree.
Yeah, you
That
need
is the
evidence for beliefs, and your own brain will lie to you. We know this for a fact when it comes to science and controlled studies of people with these same exact scenarios that they create. We know for a fact that people have incredibly false memories for confirmation bias and cognitive dissonance. You want it to be real, therefore your brain makes it real by not allowing you to remember certain things. It's psychology. All of this
but
is psychology.
Would you say the same thing to your own
I have
brain
to
to
say
Yes.
on this.
Okay.
I
I
have
mean, at
to
least you're
say on
consistent.
this,
Yeah.
Minister. I have to say I ally with you, but I have to ally with Cody on this one because.
Well, your
the
allyship doesn't really
brain.
mean anything to me, brother. But I really just wanted to know
Yeah,
Cody's
No,
perspective.
I'm just saying, like, I'm being objective in this conversation.
Well, I
But
doubt
like,
you have objective. This is not an objective conversation. I just want to subjectively understand what his thoughts would be, and so he gave it to me. So I'm good.
I mean,
no,
yeah, we have
I'm just
subjective experiences and perceptions, but there is an objective reality. Just because you feel like something seemingly experienced to be real doesn't make the actual causal mechanism something that of a supernatural cause.
Well, yeah, I know, but you
I
just
would
give
say
a
it like
whole
this,
claim of
Minister.
subjective realities that would get in the way
Reality is
of
objective.
understanding an objective reality. Because if I objectively receive something that was not planned, did not have any premonition of someone planting a seed, that actually said it in the other person, someone calling and manipulating the situation, manifesting it, knowing and through their network. If none of those things
Brother, you
objectively
don't
happened,
know if she went home and got
I'm
a
saying
call from a
if
friend of yours.
it didn't objectively happen, now all
Yet
you
you
have is your
don't know. This
subjective
is the
belief.
problem. You're taking a lack of information and stating that your experience is therefore true.
No, I'm taking a probability
No, it's not even
and stating that
probable.
this was
The
a
most
highly
probable is
improbable
that she got
scenario.
a phone call when she went home. That's the most likely scenario.
What if I called that person and say, "Hey, did you call this person and tell them that you were going to give me
Again,
an
the
office
most
space?"
probable explanation is
doesn't help.
false
That
memories,
doesn't help.
So again,
lying.
false
Like, those
memory
are
is
the
an
most
objective reality,
probable.
it's a
How do we know they're
subjective
more
experience.
probable?
Well,
Because
can I
they're
say that? Can I
demonstrated
say this?
consistently.
Because I am being objective on this. I see exactly where you're coming from, Minister. But I also more so align with where Cody's
Bro,
coming
I
from
do
on
not
logic.
care. You
And
cannot be objective about this subjective conversation.
Yes,
Just
we
give your
can.
opinion. So there is no objective.
I mean, if you want me to just give my if you want me to give my opinion, then why interrupt when I'm giving it?
Because you keep trying to phrase it as if you have some objective
But
stance
he's
on it.
he's
You do
trying to
not.
be
I
unbiased. He
do.
understands your
So just say that.
experience
Say,
and
I
he
want to be
grants
I
your
want
experience
attempt.
as true to you, but he's
That's
also
what
granting my
objective is.
explanations.
No,
That's
it's
what
not.
objective is.
Being
It's
unbiased does not
unbiased.
make it objective.
Yeah, he has
It
openly
lends greater
stated he
probability to
grants
being
your
objective.
experience, but he also grants my explanations as possibilities. He's being
I
unbiased
granted
as
your
fuck with an
explanations as
objective reality
possibilities.
and accepting your subjective experience.
I
You see
granted
why I
your
love these kind of
objective debunks.
theological conversations? They're really fun.
Yeah, I already
like it
granted,
too.
Cody. I already granted that your explanation of what could have happened could be possible.
It's the
That's what I
most
responded
probable.
to. It is.
Well,
It's all about probability.
I will say it like this. I'm being unbiased here. Okay,
I doubt
we
it.
seem to like that.
Oh my god.
I'll give you no break.
You have a biased disagreement with him now.
Go ahead, though, Jay. I'm just.
That's
giving
fair.
up.
No, that's fair though. But the reason I say that is because I believe that. So one of the cool things that I learned, being the nerd that I am, is like a lot of people think that you have these external extremities like your hands. Let's say feelings, right? Not physical feelings, right? So you have sight, you have smell, you have taste, you have touch. And a lot of people forget that the brain is the only mechanism that sends signals. So a lot of people think that your eyes are there to see reality, and then it tells your brain what it is. That's not actually what's happening. What's happening is your brain is perceiving a reality, and it made eyes to use them as a tool to make sure it got it right. The eyes are just a checker, right? Because the signal is coming from the brain first to the eyes, not from the eyes to the brain. So what
Buddy, we make the
are
same damn faces.
so what you are
He ain't wrong.
stating here, I'm not saying that your subjective experience is wrong. And I'll grant it could have been a miracle, but what I'm saying where Cody's stance is 9 times out of 10 that's coincidental, right? Because there are so many like if I look up Abraham Lincoln and George W. Bush, I will find more similarities and coincidences between the two if I dig deep enough than not, because people are more alike than we are different. Right?
JFK and Lincoln are a great example. They have a lot of similarities in the way they died and a lot of other things. I don't really want to get into it, but I did want to say this real quick. This is completely off topic. Being unbiased isn't a true thing just because of the fact within your brain, your bias is already set in stone. Whatever is going to make more sense to you is what you're going to be more biased towards. For you to be unbiased, you would have to be able to say, well, I don't really think anything of this, but this sounds more right, which still is biased.
Using your brain, right, which is biased.
I would consider the definition of unbiased is whatever evidence justifies a reason to be biased towards a specific conclusion. So if there's not evidence, then there's no reasoning to be biased towards a specific conclusion. I'm in I require epistemic justification for any belief that I hold. So if someone tells me a miracle happened, I have to have the mechanism to be able to believe it. If there's no mechanism, I have no justified reason to grant it.
But you know what's tricky about you, Cody? Even if it happened to you, you wouldn't believe it.
I would because these things have happened to me. I grew up in the church. Okay. I've had 1,000,001 experiences. I could give hours worth of stories. But
so what happened?
You cannot say something is true if you don't know it's true. And how do we know what is true? Well, epistemology. We have the study of knowledge. How do we know something is true? By testing it. So if I have an experience like this, I'm going to test every aspect of it I can. And then not only am I going to test it, I'm going to have my peers test it as well, because my testing could be false.
Earlier that you don't trust the responses of your peers.
What? If there's tests, anecdote, no.
Yeah, you don't trust memory.
Hearsay, no. Anecdote, no. But evidence, yes.
So you would trust a medical miracle, perhaps, maybe.
But it's not a miracle because it still has a mechanism behind it that can be explained.
Saying something is unknown or doesn't have an answer yet does not equate it to being a miracle. It just means I don't know.
No, I don't equate. No, what I equate, so we should define a miracle. I define a miracle as something that has a mechanism that required a cause outside of what I did or anyone else did.
Divine intervention, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, but you have to have the mechanism demonstrating the causal relation from the divine to the effect.
Yeah, and you can go hunt it down, but I'm saying
but it doesn't exist. Therefore, miracles don't exist.
No, if you hunt it down, let's say there is a mechanism that God uses to perform a miracle. If you hunted down that mechanism through epistemic processes, would you believe
you will not find it, but if I did find it, yes.
Okay.
The biggest problem.
I would love for magic to exist, brother. I'm a fucking witch. If I proved a spiritual realm to be real, I would be doing magic 100 times more than I am, because I would genuinely believe there's a spiritual fact of it becoming true.
Well, I don't want that to happen. I don't want you to do more magic. I want you to love God.
Spirits existing does not equate to therefore a God exists, though. That's the thing. Like, even if you were able to prove to me that miracles happened, that doesn't even prove you're God. What it proves is that there's something beyond our realm, and then we have to demonstrate more and more. So if we prove to God existed, then we have to prove it's your God. Like, there's so much.
I agree. There's a lot of steps to it.
Yeah.
But at least you could believe that if there are spirits, there has to be an origination of those.
Not necessarily. Because that could also be like a deeper mechanic in physics. Again, us not knowing something does not equate to therefore God. There could be a
Well,
deeper
let's just
mechanic
call.
in physics that the universe makes spirits and
Let's
that they're a
call it
part of energy,
metaphysics.
for instance. Metaphysics, dude, that's not a thing. Metaphysics aren't
Come on,
things.
you just said the physics of spirits. That is metaphysics.
I do need
Yes,
to say this.
they are
real quick.
metaphysical ideas and concepts. Metaphysics aren't actual things, though. Metaphysics
I know,
are
but if we
abstract ideas.
I know, but if we try to look at the physics of spirits, that would essentially
Metaphysics
become
is not
metaphysics.
physics, brother.
I hear you, but I'm saying if we were going to look at the physics of spirits, it would become metaphysics.
Yeah, no.
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 Well, then what would be the material? What would be the material grounding?
Physics.
That you would hold in?
We would use
But you
metaphysical
have no material
axioms.
to work with because they're not made of material.
Axioms. We would use axioms, which is reality. They're self-evident truths. They're
Which becomes
they're
logical statements and
demonstrable. No,
syllogisms.
there would be
Yeah.
demonstration.
Well, sure, demonstration, but it becomes words and concepts and axioms, which is
It
metaphysics.
would be visually or demonstrable
Can I
to some
say
physical
this,
degree.
Cody?
Yeah.
Cody, I want to ask this to you. And this is to Minister's point with the metaphysics. I just want to see how you refute this. So, like, for instance, right, we have laws of physics, right? And those, as of we know right now, have to be obeyed in a sense. Like, you can't go out of it. But would you not consider, so let's say we're talking about dimensions, right? We have 1 dimension, 2 dimension, 3 dimensions, right? And we're talking about the fourth. Could a 2-dimensional being, right? If I wanted to trap a 2-dimensional being, all I would have to do is draw a box around them. But for us,
We lost you there for a second. You got really quiet.
can you
There
hear
you
me
are.
better
Yep.
now?
Yeah, two-dimensional
Okay, let's
box.
say, so let's say I wanted to trap, imprison a 2-dimensional being. All I would need to do is draw a box around them.
So a wormhole is a good answer to all of this. Basically, you're saying could a 4D or 5D see us and us not see it, basically, correct?
No. What I'm saying is, could that 2-dimensional being see me as a 3-dimensional being
Correct,
as
no.
being metaphysical?
They could,
No,
yeah,
not
sure.
that it
Yeah.
sees me,
There could be a
but
metaphysical
would I be
concept that
considered
it's possible.
Okay, so your argument is saying that, let me get this straight. You're not necessarily saying that the metaphysical doesn't exist. You're saying there's not enough evidence for it. Is that what you're
Well,
claiming?
so I could also metaphysically provide a concept of a unicorn. It doesn't make them exist. Metaphysics don't make things real. They're just abstract concepts of us trying to make sense of the world.
But they can still be logical concepts.
So hold on, but hold on. Let me ask him this, Minister. So essentially, you're not completely, what's the word I'm looking for? You're not completely throwing away the idea. Okay. You're not completely denying the idea of the metaphysical. You're saying there's not enough evidence. There's not enough evidence grounded.
You guys are treating
Reality
metaphysics like an actual thing is the problem.
Well,
I'm just
metaphysics
trying
is
to get,
shared
I'm trying to get your
understanding.
Metaphysics ground thoughts, yes. They're not things, though. A metaphysical unicorn is not an actual thing.
Cody, Jaden said let him back up, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I also got, I'm going to let you both up here. Ravis, go on ahead and do your own introduction as well. I'm going to run to the restroom real quick. Ravis, as well, these guys have been extremely good faith, both of them, so let's be kind as hell.
Hell yeah, I'm always down to be kind.
Is hell really kind?
It doesn't exist, so I don't have any reason to think it is kind or not kind.
Okay.
Well, if you guys wouldn't mind, I feel like at this current place and moment, I don't think we're all going to come to an agreement on really anything. So is there anything else that we could talk about? Like with Jerry, I don't really know your beliefs, but I do know, Minister, you are a Christian. Do you think that the Christian God is moral or immoral?
I think he is the standard of morality, as well as he creates the standard of morality, as well as he is not held to our subjective morality.
So how is that so?
Well, because if we have no objective morality to ground reality as we know it, then anyone can say, I'm the arbiter of what is right and wrong. And they could use their force and power to enforce it. And who is to say anything against them other than to use force and power to try to enforce their subjective morality? And that is usually the basis of most wars. But
yeah, you don't. Oh, if you want, Ravis, you can speak real quick if you want to respond to it.
Can I answer your question too, bro?
Just let's just go with Minister right now, and then you can chime in after Ravis has responded.
Yeah,
Okay,
I mean,
fair enough.
I would just say, like, the thing here is that, like, if this concept comes from your God, you would like, do you hold that your God is an object?
no, I hold that my God is the basis of existence.
Right. So you don't hold that your God is an object. So thereby, it would be your God is a subject. I assume you hold to your fact that your God has a mind.
Correct.
Okay, then therefore you do not have objective morality either. You also have subjective morality because
Well,
it all comes from the mind.
Yo, we
of
went from
a
metaphysics to
God.
morals? What? I was gone for 20 seconds.
We
Yeah,
just
he strongholded us.
Holy shit. Okay.
we don't have to stay on morals. I'm happy to go anywhere.
No, it's a
I
good
personally
combo.
would-
It's a good
I
combo.
personally love to go to science, but like that's just
I love
me.
science too.
But
I like morals for a little bit, but I like science too. I mean, here's what I would say though about the mind issue. And so you're claiming that something cannot be objective and exist in the mind. Is that your perspective?
that is just how things are. If something is dependent on a mind in order to be actualized, it is automatically subjective.
So explain it.
What if we're talking about an infinite mind?
Well, yeah,
It
exactly.
does not matter how. It doesn't matter. Infinite or finite does not matter. If it comes from a mind, it is automatically subjective.
So prove that. Prove that claim for us.
Well, by literal definition, subjective is things that change in accordance with thoughts, feelings, and opinions. And objective is not changing in accordance with those things. The philosophical definition is going to be objective is mind independent and subjective is mind dependent. So anything
So
that
you're talking about a mind that has changeability. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, anything that changes in accordance with tastes, feelings, and opinions is therefore by definition subjective, and if it is dependent on a mind. Morals change person to person, and they're also dependent on a mind. Without our brains, there would be no morals.
Now, what if the persons themselves are dependent on a mind?
Well, the
subjective.
issue is, yeah, the
No, I'm
issue
saying
is
all the minds, all
Subjective.
the persons who have minds.
If it's dependent on a mind, it's subjective.
Are dependent upon a mind.
Yeah.
Subjected to is not the same as subjective.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I use
no,
both. I know I use both. I'm saying subjected to in the sense that they're dependent upon, and also they have subjective.
With that argument,
minds as well.
even the belief in a god and morals coming from a god is therefore morals are subjective because they're dependent on the mind.
Well, by definition, you could call God's morals subjective from a human perspective, but they are the objective reality
Dependent
of
on his
morality
mind.
if every single person who has a mind is dependent upon his mind.
Yeah, therefore subjective.
I would say that.
I do want to say this, and sorry, Jerry, but I really do need to get this really clear here. Let's say I granted this, right? That all of our morality comes from this God. That would mean that every single one of us, based off of their morality, would think that it's okay to kill an infant. Because the God of the Christian God does do this.
Yeah, this is why I made a very clear distinction in the beginning. I was saying that he creates a standard of morality, but he is also that which holds morality. So he's only held to his morality, right? And so not yours and not your belief about his morality. And so,
Yeah, but then you had went on to say that. Go ahead, Jerry.
Oh, I would say that I somewhat agree with that line of thinking that even God's morality would be subjective. Damn it, I lost it. I was trying to get it out. God's morality would be subjective, but the because it's even subjective down to the basis of it, right? Because we just don't understand where his morality comes from. I don't even like the conversation of morality when it comes to a creator, because what I understand a creator to be is just, right? And even being just is subjective. So I can agree with that. It is subjective.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
No, Ravis, you can say something. You've been wanting to say something.
Oh, I was just gonna say this is just going to boil down to a special pleading. So this is an issue where we're looking at the category and we're saying that my category is different because I have defined it to be different. It's essentially it's a non-argument. Like when it comes down to it, when we're looking at these things as a whole, if it comes from a mind, regardless if that mind is infinite, finite, if that mind is the mind of Santa Claus, the mind of an ant, it is going to be something that is inherently subjective because it is relying on the subject, right? And we can say that perhaps with an unchanging mind, that we could argue against subjectivity, but the issue is the God of the Bible's mind is in fact very changing. He is able to feel regret. If you're able to feel regret, you're able to change your mind. That's simply as far as it goes.
I think you should stay in that idea that God has all of us dependent upon his mind in the Christian paradigm because he is the author of creation in the Christian paradigm.
You're muffled, but yeah. So like I tried to bring up, if he's the grounding for all morality, and he's what grounds our own morality, that would once again mean that based off of his morality, unless he is able to change, that would mean that killing an infant or a child would be morally okay. It would be justified by that moral standing. And since I don't see it that way, it can't be true. Just as much as I wouldn't expect you to think that killing an infant or killing a child isn't a good thing, it isn't a righteous thing, it isn't a justified thing. Not at all.
But see, you haven't done the epistemic work to search out the premise, intention, and reason behind his choices. That's why I said that you.
What reason makes killing innocent babies good?
Well, what are you talking about?
Amalekites, brother.
1 Samuel 15.
Or that.
So,
yeah. I'm going to shut up and let you take over, Jaden.
Do you know that? Do you know that story? Like, actually, do you know how it goes? How it ends up?
Yeah, yes, I know exactly how it goes. The reason that they were attacked was because of something that the Egyptians had done to the Israelites, and this had occurred over 400 years ago. And even still, that still doesn't justify killing an infant. You don't see us starting wars and killing infants. You don't see that.
Well,
but this God, this all good, this all loving God is doing this. He is commanding this. And you can even see that they even go on to confirm this later. And they even say that the only things that they left alive was ox and sheep and the king. And the ox and sheep were left alive for sacrifices toward God.
Well, don't forget about the women. They had to keep the women who are not known to man alive for smack slavery.
It doesn't. If I remember, it doesn't go on to say that.
Yeah, there's some issues with this story. So now, do you know why Samuel was in this story was so angry with the Israelites when they were commanded?
Brother, it's 400 years.
All the children and all the women and all the oxen and all the animals. Do you know why Samuel was so mad with them afterwards, the prophet, during that time? He was so mad with them
400-year prior attacks.
No, I'm saying Samuel was so mad at them because they didn't do it. Now, here's the issue. God said to Abraham 400 years beforehand, go your way. The sin of this nation has not yet reached its limit. In 400 years, it would. And so as a Christian, we understand this, but this is more of a Jewish concept. But the Jews would understand this as God gave this nation 400 years to turn away from enslaving, raping, and unaliving children.
So he sent people to enslave, grape, and kill. Two wrongs don't make a right.
Well, the judgment against them was that their wives and their
Pause. Is killing innocent babies justice?
That was the judgment against them.
How is it just?
Because they did it for 400 years. So their
the baby killed for 400 years. That innocent baby killed people for 400 years. Are you what? No.
No. I said the people of that nation. The people of
This
that
is just
nation
right makes right.
unalived
The
babies for
innocent
400
babies
years.
killing. Fuck the adults, innocent babies.
But see, this is why you need to know how the story ends. The story
Because
ends
innocent
with
babies
they
being
don't
killed?
actually unalive the babies. They don't do it. So God was so
Yes, they do.
wise.
Where does it say
No,
that? Where does it say that?
you got to look why Samuel was so angry with the king, because he didn't actually do it.
Yes, they did.
But the judgment was that they should do it, but the Jews didn't actually do it.
Brother, it literally goes on to confirm that they actually took action with this. This
They
was literally
did,
a
but
command by
did you?
God.
It was a command, but they didn't do it. That's why the prophet was so angry with them.
So
What?
even
Yes,
with what you're saying, God commanded it to be just to slaughter innocent babies. Your God is evil.
See, this is why God is so wise. He, knowing they wouldn't do it, gave a just judgment, but also showed mercy.
Is it
in knowing they wouldn't
okay
do
for
it.
me to tell you to go slaughter an innocent baby right now, knowing you wouldn't do it?
You don't have moral authority.
Would
to
it
choose
be
life or death.
okay and right for me to tell you to go do that just because I know you won't?
You don't have the authority to.
Oh
do
my
it, right?
fucking
But
God, that's not the question I asked you, is it?
I wouldn't want to do it. And
I know you
want against
wouldn't.
to do it.
I'm not giving a shit about what you want. Would it be just for me to tell you to go do it because I know that you would not do it?
The just piece is about whether or not that nation.
I am
deserves
telling
that
you to go
judgment.
slaughter an innocent fucking baby. Is that just or not?
It's not just to slaughter an innocent baby.
Good boy.
Can I say something here? I think the problem with this argument in particular is, minister, we, by making this argument, we are pretty much asking or forcing the other panelists to believe or see in a God that has this morality, this chief of morality, when they're clearly atheists. So there's always going to be this push and pull between that argument, because
No, I don't mind the argument. I mean, it's a fine. It's
I mean, I'm
Jewish
way more
argument
moral than
anyways.
your God.
It's a Jewish argument, but this is how the Jews would respond. God in his wisdom, though it was just to say, you nation
Guess
have
what?
unalived babies for 400 years. You've unalived thousands of babies.
So
The
let me go
punishment is
unalive your babies.
I'm gonna let your babies be unalived.
That's not
But
just.
that's my judgment against you. But then I'm still not even gonna let it
That's not
happen
just.
because I know.
Hey,
the
guess
people
what?
who
Hey,
choose to
guess
do it is
what,
not
buddy?
gonna do it.
Guess what?
That's his
Guess what?
wisdom.
They do it. They do it. That's the problem. That is the whole fucking problem. They do it. Literally. When
they
Samuel
did it,
came
then
to
why does
Saul,
those
Saul said
people
to
still
him,
live?
"May you be blessed by the Lord. I have carried out the command of the Lord." What was that command? Oh wait, let's go back.
Bro, can you
I
please
will
read
punish
the
the
whole thing? He
Amalekites for
lied in
what
that
they did in
statement.
opposing the Israelites when they came out of Egypt. Now go and attack Amalekite and utterly
can you
destroy
read
all
the
that they
whole
have.
chapter
Do
if
not
you wanna try to
spare
talk
them,
about
but
it?
kill both man and woman, children and infant, ox and sheep, camel and donkey.
And infant.
But he didn't do it. That's why he got
Oh,
in
yeah.
trouble later. If you keep reading, that he said, "Oh, Samuel, I did it," and then Samuel was like, "If you did it, then why do I hear babies? Why do I?" Well, he might have said babies. Why do I hear the bleeping of sheep? Why do I see women?
He
Why?
says that's literally the only thing he says is the bleeping of sheep. He doesn't say anything about babies. And the reason that
If
he
you
was
keep
mentioning that
reading
up
the Bible,
is
you're
because guess
fine.
what? Guess what? They were sacrifices. That is all that was left. It even says they have brought them from the Amalekites. For the people
Yeah,
said they
he
have
was
brought them
angry
from
that
the
he left an
sorry,
animal
100%.
alive.
Yeah, spread the best of the
But
sheep
we
and the cattle
find
to
later in the
sacrifice to the
Bible,
Lord your God, but the rest we have utterly destroyed.
that's what they say. But when you read the Bible later, those same people are still alive. That
But
nation
see,
of people is
doesn't
still
this just
alive.
all go back? Doesn't just all go back to the subjectiveness of God's morality, right? Because like, if I take it to an earthly level, right? Hitler and the SS thought they were doing the right thing. No, I think there's a philosopher. I can't remember the philosopher's name, but he says something like, "Nobody truly thinks they're evil." They don't think they're evil in the moment. They truly think that they're doing the right thing while doing evil actions. So I think it just ties into the subjectiveness of God's I mean, like what you were saying, Minister, I don't want to botch it up, but you were saying like um, God is, let's say he's the chief of morality, but what I think Fayborn or Jaden was saying, that If it exists, if all of creation exists in a mind, then it has to be subjective. Then maybe that's God's subjective reality. That's what he sees to be moral in the moment. And so, like, it comes down to a sense of what I was saying earlier. Who are we to say that the chief of morality was wrong or right? That would be subjecting himself to a duality of good and evil, which in my mind does not exist outside of the human mind frame.
I mean, like when it comes down to it, right? We have to be able to break this down, right? And the way that we're going to break it down is when someone gives you standards but they do not follow them, that person is a hypocrite. Simple as that. So we can either say that God's moral standards are changing, which is of course the case, regardless of the situation, or we can say that he is a hypocrite. Either way,
Well,
these are positive things.
Can I say this as a believer in a creator, not necessarily the Abrahamic God, but as a believer in a creator? You like you're saying when someone says something to someone or imposes a rule on someone that they don't follow themselves, use the word person. The creator that I believe exists is not just a person. This is above a person. So their authority, their whole being exists outside of what a person is.
This is
So
all
you
coming
and I
down
are
to a
persons.
special pleading fallacy of just stating that God makes morals, therefore, if he does something, it is therefore good. We subjectively say he's evil, and we have
It's a
reasoning.
presupposition. Yeah, I hear you. I mean, it's a presupposition that we hold.
Well,
on
I'm
to.
more moral than your God. Your God says it's okay to slaughter innocent babies. I say he's a piece of fucking shit for it. I'm more moral. Why? Because harming innocent people is wrong. Why is that wrong? Because we live in a society as social creatures where we need each other for our own survival. We ought to be good to other people so that we can survive. So according to my morals, I am better than your God who would slaughter innocent babies.
You're subjectively.
Yep, and you are
judging.
subjectively stating that a unicorn can slaughter innocent babies and it's good. You're literally defending the slaughter of babies. You're disgusting.
I'm just accepting the claim that God is good. And
Yeah,
so now
well,
I have
the
to
evidence
understand his
justifies it's
judgments.
not.
Well, I mean, but in
Is
my
slaughtering
life,
babies good?
slaughtering babies is not good.
And your
that's
God does
why
it, therefore your God is not good.
My God didn't do it.
Yeah, he did. Canaanites.
People did it.
He told them to do it. Condoning of it is doing it.
He judged that should be what.
Actually, as a matter of fact, motherfucker, Exodus.
What happened in Exodus?
We killed all the firstborn children. Like, besides the fact we know the Exodus didn't happen, right? That's besides the fact. Like, the claim is that he unalived all the firstborn children of Egypt.
There's so many. He flooded the earth, slaughtering innocent babies. He slaughtered the firstborn children after taking away the Pharaoh's free will. He slaughters people to this day because remember where he says, nothing happens that does not happen according to my will. I am the Alpha, I am the Omega. I make good, I create evil. He made the tree.
Take someone out their life, out the world. He transitions them from this world to the next world. He has the authority to do so since he created all life.
Yeah, that's just special pleading. That's just special pleading from someone who worships a bastard. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It's not special pleading, just a logical.
It absolutely is.
I do.
It's not.
I do want to say this: the 2 Samuel 1:1. The moment they brought up Exodus, it literally works against you because according to that, all the firstborns of the Egyptians were dead, and this is just one account of a singular Amalekite being alive. And if you continue to read it, they had seized him, and he just ended up being alive. And then it goes on to say, "So I stood over him and killed him."
You're trying to get.
So what happened to that Amalekite?
But see, you're trying to get a rebuttal by not actually really doing enough homework. But I promise you, if you keep reading,
I read the whole verse while they've been talking.
Listen, but I'm saying go to the Bible app and just search the word Amalekite and see if that people show up later, and that'll help you understand.
So what? The Egyptians still show up even though all their firstborns were killed. They
now,
so what? It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean that the event didn't happen.
Did God kill one innocent baby ever in the Bible?
God has the authority to take anyone.
I didn't fucking ask that.
I don't know. I don't know if he's taken the innocent.
So you've never read the Bible. Congratulations, you're an idiot.
No, I'm not saying that.
Okay, so you've read the Bible. Has God ever killed one innocent baby?
The Egyptians are a good example, right? The Egyptians are a good example.
Has God ever killed one fucking baby? Yes or fucking no?
He has allowed it.
Was it
Again,
okay for people
this
to
is just
allow
like-
Hitler to slaughter people?
He allows evil. It's a different conversation, but it's true. He does allow evil.
Is it okay for us to allow people to murder?
It's free will.
We know that someone's about to murder. Is it good for us to allow it?
Do you think?
Yes or motherfucking no, dumbass? Pay attention.
You should
Is
try your
it
best to
okay?
stop it.
Exactly. Because that's the good thing to do, correct?
To try to stop it, yes.
So your God is a murderous piece of fucking maniacal shit.
That's if he hasn't tried to stop it, but he does.
Which he didn't. He commands it.
Did he ever allow someone to die unjustly? Yes or no? To this day, do people die from cancer? Yes or no?
He allows free will.
How the fuck does free will have anything to do with a goddamn tumor, you piece of shit?
So I went to school for biology.
You went to school for being a dumbass piece of shit.
Hold up. I also went to school a little bit for biology.
Okay.
So
okay.
what are you going to tell me about cancer that connects it to free will? Go ahead.
Okay, so I think you'll agree with this, surprisingly. A lot of genetic issues of tumors
It's
and
his fault.
cancer, it has to do with
Who made him?
Chemically, we know it's the malformation of a cell.
Who made the cell? Who made the baby? Who made the person? Who allows the cancer? Who allows the death?
I hear you.
Who allowed Epstein's Island? Who allows the Dorito in office?
He allows free will, and people abuse that free will by choosing evil. Sometimes that evil is
So he
good.
condones child sacrifice, child labor, child grape, multiple grapes and murders all across the universe for all of history. He allows and watches them fucking happen like a cuck in the corner.
Stopping the same thing as allowing. Just want to understand your perspective.
Yes.
Yes.
If you are indeed all powerful and you have the ability to stop something and you don't, you have essentially allowed it to happen.
So what evil should he not stop? What should he stop all evil?
What?
What evil should he not stop, or should he stop all evil?
To be all good would to be able to stop all evil. All good
So
and all
what about-
powerful requires
what about
not
lying?
allowing any unjust bad things. That means if
about
he
lying?
has a button right here and he has the power to do it, he would do it because he's all good and would not allow any bad at all. But he
It
does.
sounds good. It sounds good to say it, but what about lying? Should he stop you?
Okay, can I put this in? Can I put this in? So, like what Cody was saying, to be all good is to stop all evil. And Cody, this is just me trying to pick your brain here. So the saying where it goes, would you kill one person to save 1,000? Even though killing the one person is still innately bad.
If I was an
based
all-powerful
off of
God, I
what
would
I've been
save
hearing.
all the fucking people.
No. Let's because we're
Cody,
bringing it.
this
to,
is the
we're
third
bringing-
person in the comments to say that you got a haircut. Did you get a fucking haircut?
I did get a haircut.
Dude, everybody's been commenting it. Like, I swear his hair was fucking long.
I'm not even trying to be that guy, Cody, but I'm black and I saw your hair all these times. I always pass through your live and I didn't even notice. I don't know what white folks do with their hair or YT people do with their hair, but I know it's a process. But it looks good.
Thank you.
See, I'm just bald.
Oh damn, dude.
Are you?
Yeah, I shaved my head bald. It's easier to take care of.
I bet there's nothing to take care of.
Motherfuckers, I got long ass hair.
I used to grow my hair out really long, but then I got like.
Oh, look who left.
No, I had to kick him.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
My
I
blood
just
is
got to the point where-
boiling right now.
No, you're valid.
Oh.
Like that was just a bunch of special pleading, and then when we pointed out a special pleading, his response was no. Like,
come inside.
Yeah, no. All the verses that he brought up literally were just helping my point. He kept on telling me to continue reading, but then when you continue reading, it literally still proves my point. And then he kept on bringing up prior passages that aren't that are before 15. No, you didn't. Literally, as I read out one of the verses you chose, which was 2 Samuel 1, it literally says, and he said to me, "Who are you?" I answered him, "I am an Amalekite." He said to me, "Come stand over me and kill me, for convulsions have seized me, and yet my life still lingers." So I stood over him and killed him, for I knew that he could not live after he had fallen. I took the crown that was on his head and the armlet that was on his arm, and I have brought them here to my Lord.
Can we switch this? I wanna pose a question to you guys. So the way that we're trying to, because the main prompt is prove that God exists, evidence first, right? So what are y'all's thoughts on human consciousness and where it comes from,
Global
based in
workspace theory.
science? Hold on, why can't I fucking hear? Hold on.
I'm far away. Yeah, our leading.
No, it's not your audio. It's not your audio. It's something with my audio because I got this turned all the way up, but it's like it's not on speaker. Go ahead.
To give you the quick answer, human consciousness is an emergent property of the brain. So, for example, we see emergent properties in a lot of things. The hydrogen molecule is not wet. The oxygen molecule is not wet. But when a hydrogen molecule and an oxygen molecule come together to form H2O, all of a sudden they perform the property of wetness, right? So
yeah, but is water really wet though? No, I'm
God
just
damn
playing.
it.
so that's why
No,
they say they
it
perform
isn't.
the
But it makes
quality-
things wet.
Yeah, they perform wetness. So the thing is that when your brain when your brain comes together and like kind of like how I perform wetness on your mom. No, but when the brain
Oh
comes
shit!
together-
Left
when the brain
field.
comes together in such a way that we understand it to be, it performs the quality of consciousness.
By the way, what's up, Kat?
Howdy. Sorry, didn't want to interrupt while y'all were having this
Okay, so
conversation. Hey, I was talking. Don't interrupt.
I'm sorry, Kat. My bad. I can barely hear that well. I'm sorry.
Get some hearing aids, my guy.
To pretense,
not my
Kat
ear,
is
it's
a
my
lot
fucking
more intense than I am, and I'm known as the
That's
asshole in
fine.
this community. So
That's fine. I'm in car sales. I deal with intense people every day.
Oh shit, yeah,
Let's
I hear
go.
that. Cat, be nice.
Okay. I'll try to not get your live restricted again.
He's just a chill guy. He actually has been really chill. He even in a disagreement, he was capable of granting an experience of perception and also accepting our evidence and or lack of acceptance for the lack of evidence.
Oh, big dubs. My
yeah,
bad.
very good critical thinking skills.
Okay, so what? I forgot who was speaking to me about it, about the water.
Ravus, that would be Fayborn.
Okay, Fayborn. So let me ask this. So there's a theory. I don't know how much is put behind it, but there's a theory called Last Thursdayism.
God damn
Last
it.
Thursdayism. Are you familiar with it?
Yeah.
Yes,
Cody, you don't like it?
No.
Every now and then,
It's the same as a brain in a vat.
Yeah, every now and then I apply this theory because it actually is very useful for exposing a lot of the falsehoods in religious arguments. It's a very useful theory to throw out there. Theory used in the colloquial sense. But I'll say this much: it's unfalsifiable, and I don't accept unfalsifiable claims. So.
Yes.
Okay, that's fair. I can't even argue against that because you just don't accept it.
Well,
But
here's the thing
thing
with
is-
that. We would if you could give us a justification for why we should. There's more than one epistemology. Me and Ravis just happen to hold to empiricism.
I trust me. I'm just being a hard ass. I get your position on last Thursdayism. I promise you. But the thing is, I would say what makes this discussion best for me is I don't discuss God from a religious standpoint.
You don't, and I'm very impressed.
I don't. I just think
Be like that. I did.
Huh?
I used to be just like you, where I did believe there was a God, but I didn't hold to any of the religions.
Well, that's because I really...
Roland the Closet Goblin.
That's because I read the Bible, right? And I found fallacies because I looked for them.
Well,
and I found coincidences as well. And my problem is, like what you just said, you don't believe in things that you... essentially you can't prove last Thursdayism false, so it's not even a thought for you, because it's like, I mean, give me some evidence for it, but it's impossible for me to give you evidence.
I don't know if
for it,
Ravis would grant my reasoning for this, but I don't not grant it because I can't prove it wrong. I don't grant it because it's not proven correct. Like, is it possible?
Exactly.
Sure.
That's what I'm saying.
But there's no justification.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's why out of all these books and these religions, when I read, and there's probably more I need to read out there, but when I read The Law of One, it made the most sense to me, going back to the source energy things.
Do you guys know what esoteric and occult stuff is?
Yes.
Yeah.
What the... Never heard
Well,
of it.
me and
This guy
Kat
just told me
practice
that I
it,
should
so...
look into it.
Oh, Kat, that's right. We both practice.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
What is it?
What is what?
Esoteric and occult stuff.
The occult.
No, I thought he was asking me a question.
Oh, no. Yeah, what the fuck is that?
Witchcraft, paganism.
Ah, okay,
all the good stuff.
The occult, OCCULT,
wait,
is
wait.
religious.
Are you a fucking witch?
I'm an atheist witch. I don't know if Kat is atheist
I'm
or
also an atheist witch.
not. Okay, yeah, I do chaos.
Yep, same.
See, I play with suggestive. What I would
You can
loosely
suggest
call
me,
the law of
Daddy.
suggestion.
Can I ask you a genuine question? Because
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out, because I don't know anything about witchcraft and witchery outside of Harry Potter. Great movies, by the way. So like what? So help me understand how, like, what is your guys' definition of witchery or witchcraft?
MAGICK is not MAGIC.
Yeah. Not magic, but witchcraft or...
Well, yeah, we do magic
wizardry.
or magica. It's not like Wingardium Leviosa.
I guess my question is, how does that exist without a metaphysical realm,
This guy gave me a complete different definition of what you guys said. He said esoteric just means hidden. There's a bunch of hidden knowledge to look at.
Yeah, that's literally, I think that's why I'm asking this question, because I'm trying to see, that makes perfect sense as far as it comes to witchcraft being esoteric. Are you guys stating that you're an atheist, so you don't believe in the metaphysical, but you're stating that, let's just use magic for lack of a better term, but we know it doesn't exist, right?
I call it magic,
Let's say your definition, I think Thor said it in an Avengers movie, you call it magic, but it's a further...
Yes.
It's a further version of science. Is that what you're
It's
saying?
psychology, yeah.
It's psychiatry. The way that I personally use it is to sort of tap into my higher consciousness, and I'm trying to think of a way to like.
Why not just take magic mushroom? Am I allowed to say that? Oh my gosh.
I don't know about the TikTok terms of services. I know what I do know what you're talking about, but I don't.
I like
believe,
vegetables.
I mean, you could, as someone who has dabbled with the mushies and the.
Let's just call them truffles.
There you go.
The truffles, I've dabbled with the magic truffles and such, and I believe
Beautiful
that
pumpkin opening.
I believe that you can use those to help. I'm not saying that people can't, because a lot of people do, but for me, based in my experience of doing so, it more so, for me personally, fed into delusions more than anything, and it didn't really help me tap into a part of my subconscious that I
Really?
need.
That's interesting to me
That's just
because
me. I can't talk for other
yeah,
people.
that's interesting for me because it was like the complete, like I feel like experimenting with truffles for me made me a better person in a sense. Like it made me search within to see all the bullshit that I was spewing out into the world.
Are you currently on one?
No. I haven't done them
So
in
here's the
quite some
beauty
time.
of the brain. Reality does not warp, but our perception of reality does warp. Dependent on what you believe and practice and think is what you're going to see in this world. So I use witchcraft to alter my own perception. So I have here this is a joy charm bag. What I have in it is some herbs and some crystals that their meanings, they're like when you go and buy herbs throughout history, certain herbs have been used for certain reasons, for certain meanings. So in my mind, in my subconscious, this herb means joy, or it provides or brings joy. This crystal blocks out negativity. When I put them together, my brain doesn't know the difference between reality and not, like my subconscious. It makes it real. So I have those, I put them in my pocket, and my subconscious, even when I'm not consciously thinking about it, knows that it's in my pocket and knows the meaning of the things in it. So therefore, I am unconsciously have joy and other things on my mind. So I will confirmation biasly throughout my day notice the good things instead of the bad. Whereas if I give someone a curse spell, even if I don't say it and I just hand it to them, like that alone is enough to fuck with someone's psyche.
Does this tie into your guys' reasonings of being atheists? Is because essentially by you saying what you're saying, the object doesn't necessarily matter.
I'm sorry, say that again.
So is this what ties into your reasoning of being atheist? Is because based off of what you just said, what I'm getting from it is the object doesn't necessarily matter. What matters is the belief in what that object does.
Correct. Well, that for me, like that makes the most sense. It's like I don't want to say it's quote unquote faking it until you make it.
It's like a
but
placebo.
It is
almost,
placebo, yes.
It kind of
It's
is.
priming.
Exactly. You're priming your brain to believe that.
So is this your reasoning for being? I'm just trying to understand. Is this your reasoning for being atheist when it comes to the God conversation? Because I would say that God is the object, right? And
Well,
in
I
order to live
know
this certain
the
type of way.
placebo exists in its psychology. I know for a fact, based on demonstrated and controlled studies, that when we hold certain crystals like quartz crystals, which are known for protection value and joy, that when people hold them in controlled studies, they experience more happiness because of the psychology of placebo and priming of them unconsciously thinking about it. The subconscious has it there. So we know through demonstration that this works.
I think he's saying in a really long way of, why are you atheists?
There's no evidence for God. There is evidence for what I practice.
There's at least evidence for a
that's
placebo
pretty much
effect.
Yeah, the placebo effect
That's
is
pretty
real.
much.
Believing in God can have placebo effects in your life, sure. It doesn't make God real, and there's no magic in a crystal, but having the crystal on me is a physical thing that does exist, and the placebo effect is an actual thing that does exist.
Okay, fair enough. I like it. Good combo. Good combo. My girlfriend is yearning for me, so
Yes.
I'm gonna dip
Good
out.
man.
But I'm gonna come back with some more shit, Cody. So be ready for
Love
it.
it, brother.
always
You've
come
been
back.
Goodbye, Mr.
hella
Car
awesome.
Salesman. Goodbye, girlfriend.
Goodbye.
Deuces.
Later.
That was a good
That
guy.
motherfucker was awesome.
I like
What a
him a
nice
lot.
cereal box. Oh yeah, I forgot you were sheltered. You might not get the SpongeBob references. Fuck.
Yeah.
I'm so confused. Crystal, what's your questions?
She wants to know why you're atheist. If your parents grew up religious, what made you go in the other direction? She wants to hear your story.
because I started thinking about why do I believe and why do I grant it as true, and realized that there was actually no justification.
You know, did John ever end up doing that interview he was talking about with you?
Not yet, no.
Is this something that's actually being planned to happen,
Yeah.
or are you excited for it?
Yeah, it'll be fun. I love John. John was probably one of the first people that I chatted with when I started
Whoa.
streaming.
If we just ignore that. But
Someone
yeah,
lost their lung, bruh.
yeah, I'll just
Oh, sorry if you guys heard my kid running around. I didn't realize I was unmuted for a second there.
It's Jaden's friends. Agnosticism. I am not agnostic about the Abrahamic God. I am Gnostic that it doesn't exist, because the story and the concept of said God is a God outside of time, and that entails you cannot have any causal power about anything, let alone think or do.
No, wait a minute. Whoa. How the fuck did a motherfucker in the comments recognize it was just based off of the fucking sound? And oh damn, I did type it wrong.
You're the one that typed that.
No. Like, he said that before I said it.
Oh, I see.
His comment was just delayed.
Must have been the Holy Spirit.
Yeah, the Holy Spirit came up inside him and filled him with knowledge.
Wait. Filled him.
Is that what they're calling it these days?
Yeah, white creamy knowledge.
Whoa. I did not subscribe for this audiobook.
It's okay. No one wants me to read an audiobook anyways.
Read to me.
Read.
See, the problem
But
is,
as you can see, Cody, this is why I love having the conversation of how the Christian God is immoral, is because there's no way to get around it, and it's just fun to watch people crash out trying, or at least try to keep a calm face and not realize what they're saying is bullshit.
Yeah, that was rough. Just
my
that
favorite
one dude.
ones, I prefer to demonstrate the claims in the Bible are untrue. Is for me that right there. If someone cares about what is true, when you start demonstrating things in their faith that is untrue, you have a better chance at reaching them.
Well,
that's exactly why I do this, is because the basis of the Christian God is that he's all loving and all good, and the moment you can demonstrate, well, that's not the case, then guess what? It challenges their beliefs. It is really a slap in the face of realization that is either they choose to be ignorant on, or they choose to acknowledge this and accept the fact that, well, damn, I was wrong.
I will say this, as someone who grew up Catholic, and you know Catholics love their apologetics. Like, I learned my first set of apologetics when I was 8 years old. Right, like before I could even fully reason, I was being told how to apologize for the Bible, how to make up excuses. When you go into the moral arguments and stuff like that, that oftentimes will trigger a side of their mind where they go into apologetics before they start thinking. And so when you bring up moral arguments, I like to slowly prod little immoral things so we can open them up. Because if you open that shell up too quickly, they're going to clamp shut and never open again.
Ooh. But how would you go about doing that, though?
So what I like to start with is, so for example, demonstrating that definitionally their morality is still subjective, especially by using the fact that God regretted flooding the earth, right? Don't bring up how the flood was an atrocity. Bring up specifically about how he regretted doing that, right? And then you can slowly use that to work into hey, that's pretty bad. I also think that maybe them summoning, 2 she-bears to maul all those young men.
Yeah,
Let's say
second
children.
king.
Yeah. So it is children, but I like to say young men because it helps them like not
Those
close the
young
snape
men.
shell, and then like slowly work them into it
Young
and be like,
boys.
yeah. What you kind of do is you slowly work them into it and be like, hey, and then when you're ready to drop the hammer, I like to bring up, I think it's Deuteronomy 22:21. That might be the right one. It might not be. It's the one where if a man meets an unmarried woman in the street.
Yeah, it's Deuteronomy 22, 28 through 29. I have that verse built into my fucking head. I've had to use it so many times. But my biggest preference to show this is the thing with Deuteronomy is that a lot of people try and create this wiggle room with the Hebrew meaning of the words, but what they don't realize is that when they're doing that, the Hebrew words still go along with what they're saying. The best response that I've ever heard for it is in Exodus 21:20, if I remember correctly. I'll have to check myself here, but that's basically taking that law and softening the term from seize to seduction, but it's still in the same context of grape. So that seduction is actually a moment of manipulation or even other tactics.
Yeah, well, and if you look earlier in Deuteronomy, I think it's like 3 chapters earlier, it mentions what happens if the same thing occurs, but the woman is set to be married. In that case, only the man is put on unalivement. The man himself is put on unalivement because, and very specifically, because he assaulted the property of another man.
Yeah, that's actually literally the verse right above 20 and 29. Yeah, there is one argument that I have heard was really good. I forgot. I know it's in Exodus. I'm pretty sure it actually continues from the verse that I was talking about, where it goes on to say that the father has a choice to force him into marriage or not, and that there's a probability that this woman wasn't forced into marriage. But I always just like to say, well, it doesn't change the fact that this is still condoning rape, and they still have to pay the father 50 shekels for it. That's the biggest that's the best response I've ever heard for it. But I prefer to use 1 Samuel 15 because there literally is no wiggle room for it. It says what it says, it confirms what it did, and there's no way to get around it.
Yeah. And the problem is, and I agree, there isn't anywhere around it. And I think that is when I see the most, like, they shut. They're done. Cognitive dissonance has been fully deployed.
Yeah, I don't know though, because I couldn't think of a way where when I'm bringing of this topic where I can slowly lure them into this if they're ignorant from the start to the morality. That's the whole problem. It's dependent on who the person is, and it's dependent on if they were indoctrinated from a young age. A lot of the time with Christians, when it comes to morality of God's morality also being subjective, they don't like to listen to that. So I'd have to think of a way outside of that or another way to slowly lure them into this. Like maybe I could go like, did you know your God allows this? Or did you know your God allows this? And then go on to prove it. But I don't know what that would cause for them. That's why I prefer to just bring the hammer down immediately, is because even if they have that cognitive dissonance activates right then and there, it at least proves that indoctrination is a real thing among Christians and other faiths.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there. It's one of those, indoctrination is a really hard thing to be. I mean, trust me. Like I don't lie when I say I cried for like what felt like a fucking week when I realized I didn't have a good reason left to believe, and I couldn't make myself believe anymore. Like something had clicked, and you don't choose your beliefs, and like once it clicked, I was like, I'm an honest person. God wants me to be an honest person, but there is no honest reason to believe this God exists. So what do I do?
Well, yeah, like I said earlier, it just becomes dependent on the person and how far down they are. Because there's certain people where you can show them all this and they'll never have an argument for it. but they're so far deep into this religion where they can't get out of it. So to me, in a sense, it's kind of pointless to try and do this because you don't know that person. If you knew them on a deeper level and you knew that they weren't so far into this religion that they can get out of it and they can realize just how bad it is, then sure, go for it. But if you don't know that person and you don't know how far they are, then there's no reason to go at it like that.
Yeah, that's fair. That's entirely fair. Yeah. Oh man, we need some theists. Theists, come back again, or what? What did he? What was
I
the
would have to
summons
restart
spell?
the stream.
Yeah.
I
Did
think
you get
it's dead.
restricted?
I don't know.
Here,
I'd
all
be
right.
very surprised if you were.
We're gonna try something out. All right, there's 15 of you down in the comments, right? I need everyone to just use the thing to copy repost and copy link, right? Let's get us up to like 20 to 30 of these shares. Share outs are gonna be big for this. If you have one coin, guys, throw that one coin to your Witcher. You know what I mean? Like it's one coin to do a heart me. It's appreciated. Roses are also really cool. Any little thing like that is going to help boost Cody out a little bit. And I mean, we definitely don't want to get rid of that 15K likes if we can help it.
That's true.
You know, because those are doing work, even if it doesn't look like they're doing work right now.
Nobody joined too. Haven't seen you in a minute, bro. Nice to see you.
Yeah, if you do want, Cody, we can change the prompt back to what you had originally had it to be.
Yeah, sure. I'm cool to go for another hour or so. Oh, fuck it. Let's do Your God is Imaginary. There you go. We'll do that. I'm gonna run to the restroom. You guys have mod powers to bring people up.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
it's not. Sorry, go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, the person in the comments, Crystal, I haven't read the rest of the comments you had said, but when you said that's the point, those readings, it is, it are thinking symbolically and not perceiving. Yeah, I can't bring. I can't really
Crystal,
understand what you're saying
I
because
can't
to
bring.
me it just.
Sorry.
I invited you up, Crystal. So you just have to accept the invite, and if the invite falls before you can accept it, if you click down on like the two people that look like they're hanging out, you know, they might be giving each other a nice handshake. Click on that, and it will pop up request up, and you just hit that, and then we can bring you up, and we can we can discuss whether or not God's imaginary.
I do want to make this clear for anybody who goes and says that the Bible, whenever it brings up those terrible moments, it's symbolic. It's not at all. It can't be, because if that's the case, then what could we possibly take? Like literally at that point, the whole Bible could be symbolic, and it's just cope. That is you trying to cope for the fact that you acknowledge these evils and that they are true.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, realistically speaking, it's very easy to demonstrate that your God's imaginary, because if your God is atemporal, he by definition exists for zero time, which makes him inconsequential from not existing at all. Is for something to exist for zero time is equivalent to it not to exist at all. So, Merry Christmas.
Damn, and I was being all nice in the comments, like, yeah, come on up and we can talk. I like talking with believers. Y'all just coming in strong, coming in hot.
I have a bad habit of being an asshole.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
okay.
so
It takes the heat off of me for once.
So do I, but when it comes to morality with the Christian God, I'm just too well informed on it, and I don't have the patience with anybody who says it's symbolic. I really don't.
Yeah, and both side, that's absolutely accurate. And the other fun part is something that is atemporal inherently cannot interact with the temporal. So like, it obviously doesn't exist within physical reality.
But bro, look at the trees.
You right. Look at the trees. The trees have penises and vaginas. They're proof of design.
Can't you see it? It's all around you, man.
Did you guys know walking trees are a thing?
Yes, I've been seeing that guy all over my
No,
For You
Like,
page.
besides that guy, they are actually a thing. That guy, I don't really know. The problem with him is that this isn't a case of walking trees, because where those walking trees are, they're normally in like a jungle where the sunlight is constantly being covered by bigger trees, so their roots will move out, and the tree will be basically dragged along those roots to try and get them to sunlight.
I'll
In this
drag my
case,
tree along Ravis's roots.
all right.
Hey,
In this,
yo!
in this in this case, it can't be a walking tree. I don't know what's going on in those videos at all. I have no idea.
Also, Crystal, yes, that was entirely necessary. Trees are bisexual fucking icons, and we will respect them for what they are.
Clock it. Clock it, sis. That I'm doing it right now. You can't see it, but I'm doing it.
Anyways, Crystal, you said you'd be willing to come up.
Yes, Crystal, come on up.
I'll even be quiet since I'm the mean one.
Oh, great. The heat falls back on me. Thanks.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
it's a hard
this is
job.
more Cody.
It's
This
a
is
hard
more
job, but
Cody's
someone's got to
space.
do it. Someone's got to do
You
it.
changed your mind. Why did you change your mind, Crystal?
Cody's also a hard job, and I gotta do it. I mean,
Oh, Cody gets so angry so fast with this shit.
realistically, Crystal, I understand why you wouldn't come up. I immediately disregarded your entire argument by giving you logic. And now you're feeling a little sensitive.
She
It
couldn't
happens.
take it. She's in her fifties.
You know, I don't understand how people have never really thought about the literal impossible thing with a God being all-knowing and all-powerful. I don't understand why nobody ever thinks about that, because if a God is all-knowing, which would mean that he would know his own actions in the future, what he's going to do now, so exactly where would his power be?
But free will, bro. Free will. He gave us free will.
God's actions are it's God's mind is above ours.
We could never we could never
Omniimpotent.
humanly understand.
Yeah, he does have that omni-impotence, man. Can't get it up.
Jesus Christ.
That's awesome. Omniimpotent. I like that.
Like, also, have we talked about how like obviously trans Jesus is?
Yeah, literally.
Like,
whoa.
Jesus would have been a woman technically.
Yep.
So, so without the male's DNA, certain chromosomes don't develop. We all start out as female in the womb until we develop fully.
Yeah, and since Jesus wouldn't have had any male, oh wow.
Yeah, so
why the fuck didn't I think of that?
Jesus Christ is a trans icon, and June is right around the corner.
Yeah. So realistically, there's two options. Either God gave the angel a little turkey basted of nut, and like that's how that happened, right? Or parthenogenesis happened, right? And if parthenogenesis happened, every time parthenogenesis happens, there's 100% chance of them being female, right? So if that happened, Jesus would have been born female. He would have been born with XX chromosomes. And so because of that, we know that, like, Jesus, trans icon.
Play.
Bro, you should make that the prompt. Jesus is a trans icon. If you don't think so, that would be fucking hilarious.
No, we gotta save that. Cody, you gotta save that in your back pocket for June.
Theoretically being living and that could see all of time.
I think we gave Crystal a stroke.
Do you guys see what Savad the artist is saying.
Suave?
It's honestly.
We have
Safa,
four
I think that's how you
dimensions,
pronounce it.
artist. We have height, length, width, and time.
I feel like I don't know if you're trying to say that this is proof for a god, but by the basic definition of a god, that god would be outside of time. It is pretty funny. It is pretty funny, Crystal. It's not mean. It makes sense. It actually does make sense when you really think about it.
It's
The thing
factually
is-
true.
Yeah, it's not mean because like Jesus is girl bossing out there, you know, like Jesus out there girl bossing, and mind you, this is me being very nice because I don't think Jesus existed at all. So me granting that Jesus existed and he is out there girl bossing, so much nicer than what I could be.
Yep. The fact he had one mother, no father. He only had woman's chromosomes.
He did hang out in the desert with like what, 12 men?
It's very true.
I mean, he also got nailed by a bunch of Romans in the street. Dude was a sloppy bottom. Dude was sloppy with it. He did it in front of a crowd.
Motherfuckers about to get me high with their goddamn hot boxing, and they just opened the goddamn door, and it's seeping everywhere.
Crystal,
Yeah.
what are we confused about?
Like the man got laid down on some wood and got nailed. Like, and man's out here taking it.
You know, maybe that's why the Romans would never listen to Jesus, is because he was a woman.
You know? Oh my god.
Also, like,
That's
like,
funny.
Like, have you ever seen those like crucifixes that have like Jesus on them and stuff? Like, why the fuck does that man have cum gutters? Like, what's up with that?
Fucking
Why?
what, mate?
I know he got freaky with all them holes in his hands and feet.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
hell
Maybe,
yeah.
maybe the one on his rib. I don't know.
Doubting Thomas had to put his finger all up in there.
That's true. He had to feel his hole.
Yeah. And that's not even to mention what washing your feet was a euphemism for at that time, because like
Stroking
that was washing your feet was a euphemism for getting another guy off of your mouth.
They
Show
did that
hole
quite
for-
often those
Go
times.
hole for 20,000 likes?
You know what I just realized? During the washing of feet, like when Jesus did that, that would mean Jesus was washing the feet, since he would have been a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus was washing fucking feet.
Mm-hmm. OG OnlyFans? Only Christ?
It's only crosses. Come on now.
Oh,
There
God.
you go. Only wood.
I think Crystal's a fucking boomer. I asked her what we're confused about, and she said that was like 1 minute ago. I'm sorry, do you not have the capability to remember what we just talked about at this point like 3 minutes ago, bro? Did you forget to take your medication today?
10 Our Fathers and 10 Hail Marys.
Oh Jesus, that's a lot of time on our knees. Up to it, boys, guys, gals, non-binary pals.
Yeah, I mean, like, if I learned one thing when I was Catholic, it's that I was a very good choir boy, because I got put on my knees.
Were you an altar boy?
Well, I mean, no, but I got the treatment of an altar boy. I got, I got all the trauma with none of the benefit.
Did you get to meet Michael Jackson?
No.
Oh.
It wasn't that cool. And
Damn.
it said it was just some white guy.
Just
some white guy in robes.
Crystal, do I know you?
She said she comes into your lives a lot, but she's never come up on the panel. Crystal Metheny, do we know you?
I like that one. That was good. That was spicy.
Thank you.
Okay.
So Crystal, here's the thing, right? The
I
only reason we're
blocked.
speaking. Sorry.
I think that's someone that I've known IRL.
Oh, fudge butters.
Yeah, I try and keep all this hidden from my real life. I've let a couple of people know, but
Oof. Yeah, I mean, like, to like the only reason they're making jokes like this is because a Christian hasn't came up. Like they're still.
In all reality, I should end the live. I'm just having fun hanging out, but we could always hang out in the Discord. So honestly, we'll just end it here and go hang out in Discord. So all of you guys on TikTok and
I might
YouTube,
go on a live after this here in a minute.
if you guys follow on Discord, we got a lot more on YouTube than we have on TikTok. If you guys on YouTube have any interest in TikTok, Jaden is going to start hosting his own lives, and you can go watch him out as well.
Motherfucker, you better be there.
I also am gonna start hosting my own lives, but that'll come as I slowly get less time on work.
I haven't went live in like 2 years because they kept banning me. They kept reporting me. I wonder why.
Happens a lot. Yeah.
I wonder why.
I'll go join you, Jaden. So you go live, and I'll hop in there.
Oh, can I hop into?
Yeah, of course. I will be here in a minute because my friends from Hotboxing has gotten the whole area that I have my Chromebook and everything in completely hotboxed. If I stay in there, I'm gonna be seeing the clouds. I
Well,
haven't, you know.
Go on ahead and text me and make sure that I know when you actually are live. But I'm gonna go on ahead and end the live, and I'll see you guys over in Jaden's live. Adios.
Later.